Greetings.
This is the 3 List.
We are back! Shout out to Marty. Marty, episode 49, Marty. This is Jacuzzi Moon playing by Marty. Straight fire.
Hello, I have been beating the shit out of Bottom Lip from this record.
Hey.
I cannot get that piano riff out of my head. Shout out to Marty.
Shout out to Marty Whispers from Amuse. And that's Marty from episode 49. And Mr. Bill, that means after 49 comes 50. And we got an episode here. That is episode 50 of the 3 List. And it's a big one here. So here we go, Bill. What do you say? What numbers you got here? Because it is 50.
Putting this on me?
50. Shout out to 50 Cent.
There
21 questions.
That's an easy one. It's a callback.
50. Episode 50 of the 3 List. This is the Corey Maggette episode of the 3 List.
Very good.
This is the
Aaron Gordon on the Magic.
O-Town Stand Up. But we got someone from the Lone Star State as a fan here, so we got a shout out to some of the nation. This is the Sean Lee episode of the 3 List. This is the D.D. Lewis episode of the 3 List.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I'm going to shout them out as well. From Tallahassee.
Okay.
From the capital. Shout out, this is the Ron Simmons episode of the 3 List.
And do you know who Ron Simmons became after he was Ron Simmons, famous football player?
Tell us, Mr. Bill.
Ron Simmons was Farouk in the WWF.
Farouk.
The leader of the Nation of Domination, which birthed The Rock, you candy ass.
Wow, the more you know there from Mr. Bill.
There you go. Ron Simmons was a very successful professional wrestler. He was the first world champion in WCW history, I believe. He was a tag team champion with Tony Atlas. That's not accurate. That was The Rock's dad, was a tag champion with Tony Atlas. But Ron Simmons was a very decorated professional wrestler after his football career was over.
This is the Ron Simmons episode of the 3 List.
There you go.
And of course, to bring it back home, and the Holy Trinity here.
Off the dome.
This is, shout out to one of the GOATs ever, the Joel, the Warden,
nice.
Anthony episode of the 3 List.
Is he our only 50 in Hate history?
He's the one that matters. Vladimir Stepania also.
Shout out Vladimir Stepania. Shout out Vladimir Stepania.
But Joel Anthony the Warden. And that means we have another legend in the stew here. Episode 50. Ooh, Central Florida.
I love that we have branding.
I feel it.
For the numbers game.
I feel it.
The branding for the numbers game is killing me.
Oh, Pahokee. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Ladies and gentlemen, the fam is in the stew. Episode 50. This is Ariana RFSU Estrada.
You forgot the 09, but yeah. RFSU 09.
RFSU 09.
Distinguished alumna
Yes.
Florida State University, 2009.
I was gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're taking IDFSU 9. It is class of 09.
It's the year I graduated.
Class of
Famous nines in
09.
Florida State history.
That's-
Peter Warwick.
Wait, what? Not just any 9.
Yo, you know what? That one gets
Yeah. Good job.
P-Dub.
Who else?
P-Dub gets the love.
There was a corner that used to drive Miami crazy who wore 9. I can't remember.
What was they were talking
Me
about
too.
that? Peter Warwick and Percy Harvin.
Well, Peter Warwick and Lavernius Coles were on the gate, or excuse me, Knowles at the same time. They used to cause fucking mayhem.
No, but they're saying who's a more exciting player?
Warwick. Percy Harvin was
over
really,
Harvin?
really, really fucking good, but Peter Warwick should have won the Heisman. He just happened to be there the year fucking
You know what?
Michael Vick was in college.
Gator talk. I didn't want to shout out.
Actually,
Gator
Vic didn't win it
because
either. They
I
gave it
already
to Winky,
shouted out
though, so-
FSU, so I need to take 150 back. The other 50 that's left, the real GOAT. This is the Udonis
Yeah,
Haslem
Udonis
Miami
Haslem College.
High.
Okay.
Miami High
That gets a
episode.
slide.
I think he wore 50
Miami
at UF too.
Yeah, but I'm not shouting out UF. That's listen,
I was up there at
can't
the same
shout out-
time as fucking UD. I was in
You did
Gainesville at the
some
same
time
time.
there. You
I
did
did
some
some.
time.
I did some time in Gainesville. Yeah, we'll get into it.
He played a little ball.
I played a little ball. I did not for UF.
Different ball.
I didn't play
Different
ball
ball.
for UF.
Not
That would have
for
been a
UF.
totally different podcast.
Did you play any sports growing up? Any
In
little
high
ball?
school basketball.
Whoa, so she
Yes.
played a little ball.
Yes.
She played a little
Played
ball.
a
We were
little
garbage,
ball.
but
High school where?
Pahokee.
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 So
Pahokee High.
born in Pahokee. We
Raised my
start
whole
from the
life
beginning.
is just I was born in Fort Pierce, Florida. My mom at the time was visiting family that lived in Fort Pierce, but we were already raised my whole entire life in Pahokee, Florida.
I just opened in Maps Pahokee to figure out where the hell it was.
Known as the Muck.
You're in the Muck. Yeah,
We're
Muck.
in the
Muck City. It's
There
Muck
is
City
so
for sure.
many
Muck
football
City.
players that come out of there. so-
Yeah. I knew that. I was like, I didn't know there were a lot of Mexicans in Pahokee. I thought it was just.
Oh my god.
it was
Okay,
just
there are
enormous-
definitely a lot of Mexicans, and there mainly is Mexicans. Like until I moved down here, I didn't really know any like Colombians, Venezuelans, or Venezolanos, or anything.
Anything
Argentine,
outside of
anything
Mexicans
outside of
or
Mexican,
whatever.
and they were like, I think one family of Nicaraguans.
Damn, you were like really close to Belgrade. Holy shit.
That's our Muck. That's our rival.
That's your rival.
That's who we play in the Muck Bowl. Funny story while at the Heat. By
the
the way,
Muck Bowl?
that's
It's
the Muck
Bowl.
Bowl.
It's like the Soul Bowl around
Listen,
here.
it
It's the Muck
is a
Bowl.
huge deal.
Yeah, man. You're
The
talking like
Muck Bowl is a huge deal.
Anquan Bolden, Edgerrin James. You're talking
What?
about about
Yes.
bosses out of fucking the Muck.
Yes.
For sure. Yep.
When used to work for Inside the Heat when I was at the Heat. And,
I've heard of it. Still waiting for my episode.
Jason Jackson.
Still waiting for my episode, Mr. Speaks. I don't know.
Hot second.
16 goddamn years. I guess
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. Fucker.
We did a show at Haslam's house. And
Over in Ranches? South of Ranches?
Yeah, we did a We did a show over there.
House. Man.
Yeah, we did a house.
Ranch.
And
It's a ranch.
It's a ranch.
Ranch.
He
JJ,
raises cattle out there.
JJ.
You got to see UD out there raising cattle with spurs. It looks like Yellowstone.
Him and Rick Ross.
Him and Rick Ross,
Oh.
except it's Blackstone. Shout out to my guy
Shout out to the 305 legends.
who live in fucking Broward now.
oh man,
It's just nicer
Sorry.
up here.
You were doing a show out
I was
there.
doing a
and-
show out there with Udonis. Yeah, reeling back in. And he asked me where I'm from.
It's fucking like this for 4 hours.
Oh my god, let me drink some more beer. As long as you give me beer, I'm fine.
Oh, well, speaking of,
Please,
shout
God.
out to the sponsors, not sponsors. We always like to show love here for the sponsors that do not take care of us, but we take care of them, and hopefully they take care
Just
of
keep
us.
sending
one
you
day.
money. Eventually, one day you'll come around.
So
Listen.
shout out to Stella Artois over there. A little Bud Light Lime, of course.
Oh, now I know why that can exploded when she opened it. It wanted you to shave the top of the off with the knife. You've seen
Yeah,
that
that's
commercial?
why I'm holding a napkin
Right.
because I opened my can and
Stella cans just immediately assume they're going to get poured into a glass, so you can take the foam off with a knife at the top because it's the classiest
chalice.
beer.
Where
It's
is
a
your chalice,
You
sir?
disgust me. A glass. You disgust me.
Where's your tiny sword and your chalice for this Stella Artois?
If you pour it into a plastic cup, the bottom actually falls out of the cup. You are not fit to sample it.
The cup goes up and
You
the beer goes
disgust me. The cup turns into a small British man and runs away.
So,
Look at this shit.
Oh, right on.
We're going to cut you off. God, I hope
oh my god!
I hope the
the
video
first
works for this
one.
episode so we have some video proof of this.
Is this the right one here?
What happened?
That can really doesn't want to be drank out of. It just wants to be poured into a
What
chalice
happened?
or a pimp cup.
This
Oh.
we
Oh god damn!
we got a shout out, of course, Stella Artois there. A little Bud Light Lime. Always in the stew. I'm
Thank
drinking
you.
A little Modelo Especial. I don't know where the water's from, but it is
for who?
spring water. Purify your water.
Aquafina.
Ooh, a little Aquafina.
Damn, that's
Too
mean.
fina.
We're serving
Too
people
fina over here.
Aquafina right now. I gotta.
Oh, no,
I
that
gotta-
was
I brought
BY.
that. I brought that.
Yeah,
Oh, so you
that
brought
was-
that, Ursa? This is
BYO.
from Pure Life. I think this is by the people who make yogurt, the Dannon people. I have no
All right. Thank you.
It's just fucking water. Send it to us.
This water's thick.
Send it to us. Which camera am I looking at? Which camera am I on? This one?
Camera
Send it
one,
to us.
camera two.
Camera one, camera two. Send it to
I
us.
didn't even notice it.
Send it to us.
So you were doing a show at Udonis's house.
You asked that question like 6 minutes ago.
It never was answered.
That also happens a lot.
Welcome to the show.
No, okay, well, let me get. He asked me where I'm from, and I always have said, like, when people ask me, like, especially going to school in Tallahassee, like, where are you from? And I say Pahokee, they have no idea what I'm talking about. It's like, who? From where? What's that? Is that in this country?
Ooh,
Yes.
racist.
Yeah, much.
I know.
So I told him, I was like, I don't know if you're going to know where I'm from. So I kind of like said West Palm, and one of my coworkers at the time, I think Shannon, she's still there. She's like, just tell him where you're from. Like, I'm like, I'm from Pahokee. He's like, what? Like, he's like, you thought I didn't know about that? He's like, I have the state of Florida tattooed on my back for a reason. He's like, I know every small town in this state. And then he started talking about like the football programs over there.
I love that Udonis loves football. Like,
my
it
God.
just made like a
Yeah.
business
Loves
decision to be
it.
a basketball player, but he's just all about football.
Yeah.
He's and more than Mr. 305 because he knows every small town in the state of Florida. He's Mr. Florida.
Yeah.
Again, his time in UF and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
Hot Mike.
No, dude, I hate the feel of like spongy foam. So that like goes right through my front teeth. So it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. So like which I actually nails on a chalkboard don't bother me, but this shit. So when I had to go to adjust it just now, I had to like touch it, and I was just like, nah. So
That was
please hold.
We're gonna get you one of the producer mics here.
Yeah. Please hold. I hate it. It's not level.
really?
But now my OCD is taking over. Give
me that.
It's not level. Here, fix it. Fix it.
I've never heard of that.
All I
Someone
do
that-
is show and talk shit on this podcast. I don't do any of the technical. I don't edit. I don't do any of that. I just show up, drink Bud Light Limes, and talk shit. I am the magic. I'm the goddamn talent. Maze. Shout out to Amino Hassan.
You sound like my brother.
Thank
on
you.
our podcast.
He must be an awesome guy.
Yeah, that's what he says.
We're all built like this.
So we're gonna have a crossover episode where the two forces are gonna meet and collide.
As we are such a massive podcast, 50 episodes in, number 2 in Taiwan at one time, we can
What?
absorb.
Yes, our
Oh, y'all
listenership?
just dropped.
Not Taiwan, excuse me. Philippines. The Philippines.
That's
Shout out,
still crazy.
Shout out Mike
Thank you,
Biana.
Mike Biana.
Shout out Mike Biana. Love you, brother.
Biana,
We're
Bruno
gonna
Marlins.
absorb your podcast into the Three-List Podcast Network. So, along with all the other podcasts we said we were going to absorb, and we never have. 'cause,
Realist Podcast
you know,
Network.
stuff is,
Billy came from the 5 Reasons Sports.
Oh.
I was
Sports
in
Network,
5
so
Reasons for a little bit.
shout out
Actually,
to the
not a little
Juice.
bit. I did about 40 episodes of
Yeah, you did.
Smart Your Territory.
Yeah, you
Shout
did.
out to Josh.
I was
Shout out to
supposed
Josh
to
Appel.
jump on that at one point with another former coworker of mine, with Ethan.
Yeah, with Juice. It's going to.
We're gonna have a whole like podcast. But at that time, I was still employed by the Miami Heat, so it was
Funnily
declined.
enough-
They're like, nope.
Funnily enough, so was I.
What?
And I had to fucking get permission because I had to promise them that I was not going to talk about the Heat on the podcast.
See, you at least got to promise them that.
Yeah,
They just told
yeah.
me no.
Yeah, no. But
Sorry, I do love the Heat, though.
because one I was part time, but two it was like I was like I'm not going to talk about the Heat. We're not going to talk any real sports. It's going to be straight fucking wrestling, pro wrestling, whatever. We talked a lot about pro sports. Never about the Heat though. Never ever about the Heat.
Well, I'm just gonna plead the fifth.
Much like this, not a sports podcast.
Shout out to Ethan at the first that first incarnation of 5 Reasons where he just
Yeah.
threw all the shit against the wall to see what would stick. We had like 17 different shows going, and now he's finally like leveled it down to the basketball one, which I think is called 5 Reasons, and then it's the football one, 3 yards per carry does really well, and I think they have like a Panthers one and a Marlins one, but for the most part, those two are the ones that like.
I do appreciate him trying to like allowing me to take on that platform, like with zero podcasting experience. but it just never,
We would have meetings, like we would have like Zooms and whatnot. We were very much like, it's too many dudes. We need some lady voices on this. So I could see where he would try to like reel you in. We had
because he was immediately like, yes, I'm open. What do you have?
fully. He was like, oh, look, it's a lady. Let's get a lady's voice. We needed more. He got a couple on Kylie Wang, I think, did a couple of shows. I mean, there's girls on the 5 Reasons on the basketball pod. So yeah. So I'm happy for Ethan over there. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, me too.
Well, shout out to that moment. And going back to speaking about football, shout out to UD for always putting on football. And what we put on today is a football movie, In the Stew, an absolute classic, a Disney classic, a 2000 sports drama classic. We are watching Remember the Titans!
Yes.
Made $136 million in the year 2000. In the year 2024, that would be $234 million. That's $250 million.
Cheese and rice.
That movie is so goated.
Goated from Virginia, filmed in Virginia.
Yeah.
So what made you pick that movie in particular?
Well, I can probably say like every single word on it. I've watched it that many times.
This is her Any Given Sunday for me.
You're okay. Yeah. And B, I just love this movie. Like everything. I'm a huge Denzel fan, obviously, who's not, but everything about it, the storylines, the actors.
This movie's packed with actors, man.
Yeah, it's
Turk Turkelson's in this movie.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, of course, in this movie. The fat kid Ethan Suplee is in this movie.
Donald Faison.
That's Turk Turkelson from Scrubs. He was Turk Turkelson.
Wood Harris.
Wood Harris is in this. Who's the other white boy? Trevor Lawrence is in this movie.
Sunshine. Okay, so let's get it from the get. So Pahokee, born and raised.
Yeah.
And then what brought you over to the 305? Or was it FSU then 305? Was it how was this this pathway?
Oh my God, it was such a long path. So after FSU, I moved back to West. Well, not back to West Palm. I moved to West Palm with my parents. My dad was disabled 2007 in my time at FSU. When I graduated, I came down to help my mom and my dad with my younger brother. Out of sheer what the fuck, let me just do it. I tweeted Jason Jackson, right? Like I graduated FSU. I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, I tweeted him like, hey, someone who's aspiring to get into production, what would be your words? Right? He tweets me back intern.
The early days of Twitter when you could tweet at people and they'd respond to you.
And they'd respond.
And they wouldn't just immediately block you for your obnoxious question. You know how many conversations I had with Chrissy Teigen? More than one. In the early days of Twitter, really? celebrities were ready to fucking chat. They were like, we're just going to eliminate that wall of the media. We're going to talk to the people.
That happened to me with Jamel Hill one time. I said something about, because she said something about the Cowboys. She hates them. And so I tweeted at her and she tweeted me back and I was like, oh my God.
I had a back and forth with Max Kellerman once about
Sports Nation.
Who's the pitcher for the Dodgers that sucks in the playoffs? Clayton Kershaw. We had a fucking back and forth about it because I'm a Le Batard disciple, so he was just like, this guy just can't get it done in the playoffs. And I'm like, there's no such thing as clutch, you're crazy. And he fucking came back at me. I'm like, and I was scared because Max is someone I respect. I'm like, oh, this guy knows his shit, I'm in trouble. So I fucking went back and forth with him, and at the end I'm like, hey man, I'm like, you're probably done talking to my stupid ass. I just want you to know I really do respect your work. And he sent me a fist emoji like, pound, brother, and that was it. But again, this was back when fucking people would respond to you, not in anger.
Reachable.
Well, he responded to me, and then he said, he sent me he's like, oh, if you're really interested in an internship opportunity, email your resume. And I was like, oh crap. So I emailed him my resume.
Shit, I'm not prepared for this moment.
I wasn't prepared for that. Emailed him my resume, and then I had zero production experience. So he sent me over to Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Go get you some broadcasting experience.
Shout out to CSB.
Yes.
Do you know how many times I was like, I'm going to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Bro,
I'm tapping.
Same. I've gone on 7 tours. Little Doral.
Boog Shambi told me to my face that I should go to CSB. And I'm like, but you were talking to me in my college class about radio production. He's like, just go to CSB, man. He's like, they'll get you, you'll get in, you'll be there for a week, we'll get you an internship, and they'll go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you getting kickbacks for this?
Unbelievable, bro.
That's what it is. They get you an internship right away.
What was your major in FSU?
English literature, minor in communications.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least you were dabbling somehow.
Yeah. And I knew I didn't know what I wanted to do. because when I got into FSU, I still hadn't selected my major. I initially
Nobody at FSU has a major.
oh stop it.
The major is in keg stands
Yeah.
and peeing off of the friggin' balconies onto people.
No.
Yeah, right.
those
See,
are-
not a denial.
Entirely.
Not a denial.
Listen, FSU was like the time of my life. I loved my whole time there. But
I know you rep it
Yeah.
hard. It lives
But,
with you for sure.
no, as a first generation kid here, I didn't know much about picking colleges based on, your
Merit?
actual major. And, like,
On merit?
you can't just pick FSU because you like them as a football program. Like, and so when I got there and I went to orientation and I wanted to declare my major and I said architecture, they're like, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you immediately, oh shit.
Have First
you
thing that
plan
came
B?
Have you
No.
considered
Come on,
MIT?
Yeah. And then like there was the option because UF had it and I was like, I actually applied for UF, got accepted and did not go because
Damn.
Yeah.
You're one of the rare who got accepted
I
to
get
both
that all
and
the
chose
time.
FSU.
Yes. Yeah. Well, at orientation, one of the girls was like, "Oh, I'm only here because I didn't,
didn't
get
get into
accepted to
Florida."
UF." And I was like,
Mm,
"Could have kept that to yourself."
what?
The fact that
Anyways, whatever.
Just saying. Everybody who goes to FSU has something in common with everybody that went to
Not
Florida.
everyone.
So everyone got an FSU.
Some of us. Some of us got into both and chose FSU. Oh no.
the ultimate rarity.
It's funny because I didn't even fucking graduate from there. I just lived there for 2 years. I was an ACR.
My students would tell me that because I guess they hear stories too. It's like, oh, did you apply to UF or did you not get accepted to UF
Yeah.
because I was at FSU? And I was like, no. I applied to both, got accepted at both.
Yeah, again, no one believes that shit. Like,
I will show you my acceptance letter.
no, I believe it. Listen, I believe it.
I will show you my acceptance
You're
letter.
good here.
So the truth of the matter now, in 2024, it is fucking impossible to get into Gainesville, and it is just as fucking impossible to get into Tallahassee, and that's why they all go to UCF now. Orlando
true.
is just running a diploma factory, man. They're just
Yeah.
like, go ahead, come on through, get your shit done, get out. We have a
Third
fucking
base
football
coach.
stadium on campus. It's
Yep,
fine.
we'll
That's
take
it.
'em.
Yep,
We'll take
come on
'em.
in. We have 85,000 people on campus, and we need it because if you've seen the tolls in Orlando, it's absurd. We need to pay those things.
What about the other smaller ones, like a
USF.
USF or an FAU?
USF, a lot of.
Yeah, USF,
Yeah.
UCF, FAU,
FIU right now?
FIU.
yeah.
Which what's happening with FIU?
But getting
is
into
crazy,
the three big schools in the especially the two publics,
Yeah.
you better have some extracurriculars, man.
Yeah.
Now, at FSU or pre-FSU, did you develop the UM hatred and all of that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I chose. That's what
On
I've
purpose.
always been a sports fan. Like my family, all of us, my mom, my dad, sports through and through.
Did you go to FSU because of Anquan Bolden?
Wait, so
I went to the same high school, saw Bobby Bowden come to our high school to recruit him.
Right.
So I'm like, FSU it is. No, I've always.
you felt like you got recruited there too? Like you were part of the. What?
And
coach?
then
I gotta go to coach.
Look at that humble old man. I need to live in the same town.
He
as
made
him.
his way down to Pahokee
My
for
goodness
me.
not to brag,
He's-
but he
is so
retired.
sweet.
Or not retired, got pushed out the same year I graduated.
He
so.
fully got pushed out. Look at you. Look at you knowing things. That's awesome. They were like, we need
I was there for it.
We need the Jimbo
You were
era.
in there.
We need the Jimbo era to start right fucking now. Even though he had been running the show for 2 years. They're like, get the old man out of
Yeah.
here.
They basically ran him out.
They ran him out,
Yeah.
man.
It was sad.
For Jimbo.
Damn. So you had that hatred already. You already had the Cowboys fanship.
Oh yeah,
too?
that's why I chose FSU because of my fanship, and I was like, my kids
So
in
it's
the
funny
future
you said
will
it
not.
earlier. You said earlier, oh, pick a school because of football team or whatever. So it's exactly what you did.
It's exactly what I did. Yep.
It's
Just
okay. Now
savage.
kids
I
pick,
didn't know any
savage.
better. I just thought every college offered every program.
yeah.
Boom, solid.
Architecture,
Exactly.
take your ass out of here. But you can go fucking go keg stand,
Architecture.
do all
Do
of
you
this shit.
think they would entrust the building of buildings to Tallahassee graduates? Are you out of your gourd, madam? We are offended you would even mention it in front of us. How dare you? Go mention it in
English
hospitality.
literature
Go
and
major in
communication
hospitality and
literature.
shut the fuck up.
business?
Just business.
Business.
I've got this briefcase. Which way is business?
I should have. They have a really good business program.
Of course they
I
do.
was like,
It's like
My
UCF
friends-
with the diplomas.
My
man.
FSU friends are going to hear this and they are going to pummel me because they're going to be, where'd you graduate from again, fat boy? I'm like, all right, listen, relax. You all know the story.
I like.
wait,
I'm
where
like
did you graduate from?
Nowhere.
Oh,
Nowhere University.
Nowheresville. I was going to the NFL, and then I wasn't. And that was the end of me going to school.
I never had the crazy fanship. I'm a everybody love everybody guy.
Everybody love everybody back there. I'll turn this car around.
I'm a UM fan, but I don't hate any of the other teams. I see a piece of myself in each of the teams.
I see the good in all of them.
I see myself in some of those Seminoles.
You've spoken like somebody who's never worn the colors in dope, son of a...
I see myself as one of those knights.
Oh, God.
Out of here. Who are you, Jeremy Taché? You don't need to lie to me.
I see myself.
What? He just got you straight.
One of those...
Love Jeremy.
Golden Eagles. Are they Golden Eagles?
Who? USF?
Florida Gulf Coast.
Yes,
Oh, my
yes.
God.
Shout out M-Dot.
Shout out MDZ Dot.
Dunk City.
I see myself in those Gators. Not too much, but not too much. It's look in the eyes, Chico.
Who do you hate more as a UM fan?
UF.
UF?
UF I dislike out of every school in Florida. If we're talking that.
Ask me on August 31st.
UF I dislike.
It might change.
If I had to pick one out of all of them.
If I had to pick one, it'd be obviously UF for me too.
Wow. So there's unity here.
Mm-hmm.
Unity!
And we swapped out the jersey. It doesn't come out on camera, but if you've been in the stew or you see the stories, we typically have a UM jersey here, a Mr. Bill 11 jersey that Mr. Bill let Ken Dorsey rock for a little while, but
I let Ken Dorsey wear my 11.
He gave it back to us for the show,
Yes.
and we swapped it out for a Florida Panthers jersey because I'm busting it out again.
Go, Cats, go!
Vamos, gatos!
Go, Cats, go! Go, Cats, go!
What a time to be alive.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of, football and hockey, Raheem Mostert was at the...
Yeah, he was on the parade. Yeah.
There you go.
Panthers fans, it's time to get out of here.
Oh,
This is the other one. Yeah, that's our big buddy.
It's time to get loud in this place. Are you ready?
So you guys were there, and then there's this. Go Cats, go.
No, you're looking
It's
for
a country one.
You're
here,
looking for
yo.
Panthers Pulse, my friend.
Is it on the?
Yeah, it's on the Spotify. You can find it.
There
on
it
Panthers
is.
Pulse.
There it is. There it is.
It's a song I was just.
Go.
Yo.
That's what my kids are saying right now in the house. Go,
Oh,
Cats,
man.
go.
It's been
2000.
nonstop.
Yeah.
You should have seen the production we put on
24.
every time we'd score. So we'd hold our phones up, just run around the living room.
We did that.
With
So
our-
Mo had it on the JBL.
Yeah.
And as
Oh,
soon as we
yeah.
scored, and then all of us running around the house.
With any
Yeah.
towels we've gotten
Yes.
from the games, the freaking
Yeah.
light up glow sticks or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. So last time we did a show, Junior, and I want to pull back the curtain here on the production of the show, but last time we did a show, it was the first game of the second round. We got smoked by Boston.
Yep.
And
Game one
of the Boston
Bruins
series.
was
And-
the last.
And so people who watched the show said you could see my face change because I kept checking, because we do the bit with the phone, and I kept checking my phone every time I turned it on silent because it just kept going off, and I kept looking at it. Every time I'd look at it, it was like, oh shit, like they scored again, like fuck, 3-1, 4-1, like oh my god. But that was in the past, baby. And I was like,
It's behind
that was
us.
like 14
It's
weeks
behind
ago,
you.
baby. How you like that shit, baby? Not 14, maybe 11.
Now,
Man, what a time.
we have two people in the stew, not including myself, that were at a very special place yesterday, repping your gatos, your cats.
I actually
In the
wore,
At
middle.
the freaking parade.
A whole storm.
I wore my
whole
Vamos
ass
Gato shirt.
A
Actually. Everybody
whole
else was in red. I wore my
storm.
And, this was legendary, though. First
Yeah.
Stanley Cup championship here for our Florida Panthers.
How many fucking hockey teams are having championship parades down the beach?
Right by the beach.
By the beach, boy.
By the beach.
In a
In the middle of a
monsoon.
storm.
In a monsoon.
Fort Lauderdale.
It's like thundering and lightning. Like you could see the
That's what
lightning.
got. I kept waiting for Fort Lauderdale PD to like,
Yeah,
whoop, whoop,
shut it
and
down.
fucking be like everybody out, and they were like, nah, you motherfuckers are rolling the dice today.
We heard the
same as
first
us.
like thing of thunder, the roar, and Mona and I looked at each other like they're gonna cancel it. They're
Yeah,
gonna cancel it.
same.
And
We
they
were
didn't.
talking. We were talking the same. We were like, this ain't gonna work.
That fucking thing could have struck the Stanley Cup with lightning, and they would have. Who's next? Pour it out.
You should have heard like everyone beside us like the minute like the minute the first like downpour came and it was hard.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, you know.
So we saw it coming off.
Yeah, you could see it
I was
coming,
B-side.
yeah.
You could see it coming. And we're going, well, maybe it'll go north or maybe it'll go south. No, baby.
no.
I'm looking at those
Right
palm
at
trees.
us.
Those palm trees are blowing right at us. This is where it's coming. And when it came through, we were literally holding the tent down because we were like, holy shit, this thing's going to fly away.
Shoot, no. In my section, we were like right beachside as well. And you can hear all the like the guys, drunk guys on the beside us like, fuck it. We're just going to ride the rain out. And it did.
Are you implying that people were drinking yesterday at our championship parade?
No, some of water.
How dare you?
They
The rain.
The rain.
It was one of the most sober things I've ever been to. It was like a christening. It was like a baptism.
Billy was telling me like the route that it took and everything. The elbow room, how insane that's been since the fucking championship.
we got to get into it about elbow room. The only organization in this town that's had a better week than the Florida Panthers is elbow room. If you're a local, the last place you're ever gonna go is to the friggin' elbow room. Nobody's going to elbow room. You go into elbow room, you know what happens when you cross the threshold of the elbow room? You get chlamydia. As soon as you walk in, you get a beer and you get pills. And they're like, you're going to need these. And you're like, why? And then, ooh, ow, ooh.
Uh-huh.
So in the
Take
last
two and
week,
call
the
me.
fact that Matthew Tkachuk has made the elbow room the fucking place to go is mind-blowing to me. Just go to Blondie's. It's like 2 places to the north, and it's got food. You should go there.
It's like a thing now though. I'm not from I don't know the Fort Lauderdale area and I don't go there much or at all. And we're driving by the night before the parade and we're like, oh my God, look. I told my husband, like, oh my God, that's the elbow room. That's where Matthew Tkachuk was at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, right now that I just hear this story, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's bad. Don't ever go there.
Okay.
Remember Tobacco
Noted.
Road downtown? Miami?
Of course.
Tobacco Road?
Kush. It's
Elbow
like Kush
room.
now.
Elbow room is like if Tobacco Road was constantly wet. just a thin film of moisture on every surface in the place.
why elbow room?
It's just I don't know.
Did you ever go to Tobacco Road before it closed?
No, I didn't. Never had a chance to go before
oldest.
too.
It was the
I've
oldest
heard
bar in
many
the state of
stories
Florida.
about it from Mo and
Yeah.
Pretty legendary
Love Tobacco.
place.
Love
but
Tobacco
if it
Road.
was-
And
if it
no,
was
Tobacco
fucking
Road
wet, though.
was the best. Elbow Room is not that. Elbow Room has
That
been
is
around for
funny,
100
though.
years.
Yeah.
It was the spot back
Okay.
in the 50s, like when the Mickey Mouse Club was doing spring break on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and it was
Wow.
like that was the spot, and now it's still there, and it's very much become a locals like rundown spot, but not in the last. And it got a little bit of press this
But
year.
is it beloved? You know,
Oh
is it-
God, yes!
Okay,
You
so
have to be
it's-
to
it's
be.
that piece of shit that's still it's our piece.
It's
of
my
shit.
piece of shit.
Okay,
It's like the old
okay.
Orange Bowl. To bring
Exactly.
it back to
Yeah.
college
Yeah.
football, it's like the Orange Bowl. It's a total dump, but it's our dump. That's the elbow room. The elbow room is like it got a little bit of publicity this year because when Bills fans came down for the Dolphin game, they kind of adopted the elbow room as their home base, so it was like overrun with Bills fans the whole time. But Matthew Tkachuk has ended that shit.
Yeah.
It did. The story I got from my friends who work for the Panthers and know people who work for the Panthers was the Panthers stayed at the arena until about 4 a.m. partying after Game 7, and then they got a bunch of them, not like the ones that don't have families, I guess, went to Kachuk's house. He lives in Las Olas there, like in the nice houses on the water, and then they went right to fucking elbow room at like 8 a.m. So like they got home, they got to his place at like 6, showered up, cleaned up, whatever, and then they went right to elbow room, and the damn cup was there, and that's where you saw him take it into the water,
Yeah.
and all that shit. So from like 8 to 10, there was like a dozen people there. Just all Panthers people, and then the fucking crowd started gathering and everything. And ever since then, that place has been packed. And when I got to the parade yesterday, the line to get in the elbow room stretched down A1A. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's gross in there. But Matthew Tkachuk is... And when Chucker's bus went by, he jumped off his bus, ran into elbow room, and got 2 buckets of beer and brought him back onto the bus. Unbelievable. What a fucking day.
It's gonna be like that. Like my 8-year-old son, he's seen that Tkachuk like going into the ocean with the cup like a million times. And he like when we went to the parade, he's like, "That's where Tkachuk was at." Like and he like looks over at the ocean, he's like, "That's where the Stanley Cup." That's where I'm like, yeah.
That's
So
where it
like for
went.
him, it's like a huge thing, like to be in that same area.
It's goated
And
now.
it's-
It's goated.
yeah, now it's like a thing.
And
Yeah.
him piecing it together too. That's the best.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll invest some of this money they're making now and clean the place up a little bit. Jesus.
It's funny that the only places that we heard about were Elbow Room 11
Oh yeah.
and
That was so funny.
Everything Casa Tiki, Better Day.
They were at Better Days.
Dead Flamingo,
Yeah.
Better Days, and
The
shout out to Bruce.
The staff.
Shout out Bruce.
So
Shout out
Brickle
Shayla.
Bruce. Yeah, they're getting rings. They're getting rings. They're getting rings from
Ring-a-ling.
another organization now.
Multiple
It's
rings.
crazy.
Multiple rings.
That's
Shout out
wild.
Lauren. She's the
yeah,
stage
yeah.
manager.
Shout out to Lauren.
Always been real good, real cool with us. She was with the Marlins for a while.
I texted Josh Appel, and just congratulated him,
Dude,
because
Josh got
for
a lot
for
of
the real fans and everything. Like,
from day oneers, like kids who grew up with that team who suffered through
I
a lot of that
texted
stuff.
you. You know,
Yeah.
like I texted you.
Yep.
I texted like 4 or 5 people.
Oh,
Just like, this is special for you. I'm not going on like carreta or anything, but this is special for you. And celebrate this shit.
I collapsed as Game 7 ended. Like I literally, like the stress of the whole last 2 months it just took me down.
That's the thing,
I just
bro.
sat down and I just started. I wasn't like bawling, like sobbing tears, but I was crying. I was like, I couldn't fucking believe it. I just kept saying over and over again, I'm like, I can't fucking believe these guys just won the Stanley Cup.
I wasn't on it like you from the beginning. I'm from Pahokee, right? They don't do hockey in the book. But I didn't get into hockey until I moved out here and I started actually dating Mo. We would get free tickets because he knew someone at the franchise.
That was it. They used to give us free tickets like
yeah,
crazy.
and so I fell in love with hockey. Like I'm like, and I always tell like my brothers, man, you have to go to a game.
That's what I tell people.
You have to go to
Like,
a game.
once you see it live,
Experience
yes,
live.
that's it.
it's over.
And so last night or Game 7, I remember my son. That for me that was what I enjoyed the most, was living it through him, like my 8-year-old son, because he went to his first a few years ago, his first hockey game, and he's been in love with it ever since too. So, and even in soccer, he wants to be like a goaltender, a goalie, and in hockey, he's obsessed with Bobrovsky, and Bobrovsky like whole playoffs winning.
Bobby.
So like he went crazy, and at one point he's like screaming, yelling. You know how they take off the gloves? We were all like
they
anticipating
win,
that
yeah,
moment. We were all anticipating that moment. And so he's like, Mommy, we missed. He said, Mommy, they didn't take off their gloves. And I'm like, yes, they did. We were just too busy screaming. You didn't
we were
see
jumping around in
it.
circles,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we were running around the house. And he's like, they did. So I showed him the clips. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, like he did.
Yeah.
Because we lost it.
Yeah. I mean,
We lost it.
it was
he had his own moment.
He
That
had
he couldn't
his-
see
he's like,
the moment that
"They
he
didn't
was
take the
looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, look, they're already jumping into the ocean, Bobby. They're next level.
yeah, that moment where so the camera angle you see.
Oh,
from
shout out to Dale too, man. Seeing his posts,
Yeah.
like, celebrating too, like
yeah, just
Right there.
They
That's
counted down.
crazy.
oh,
Yeah, we left
that's what
camp-
I
we left
love
camp that
more,
day,
like,
and I'm like,
seeing
right-
all the moments, like you living it through your son,
son, yeah.
me living it through all my friends and stuff.
Yeah, we left
Sorry.
camp that day, and I talked to Dale. I was like, "Are you gonna go?" He's like, "Man, I got in." He's like, I'm not gonna think about it. I got in, and I'll be gonna be there." I'm like, "All right, man. Bless your heart. We're not going." But yeah, it was crazy. It was surreal.
Yeah.
Like I walked outside, and you could hear like my neighborhood. You could hear people just whooping it up, like in different parts of the neighborhood. Shit
I was like,
crazy.
at one point, I was just like this. And my son's like, Mommy, are you crying?
Yeah.
It's like, let me just take it in right now. Let
It's
me
just-
take it in.
It's crazy, and it's just from, like you said, you used to get free tickets.
Yeah.
Like anybody, like I want to tell everybody that. I mean, this show is evidence of it. All the people who work for all the teams in town, we're all friends. We all know each other.
Yeah.
So for years, Dale and I would get just tickets just thrown to us. Mostly Dale, obviously. But if I reached out, I'd get them too. But I didn't have to because they'd be like, "Hey, Dale, I got 2 tonight." We didn't know where the hell we'd be sitting. Sometimes we'd be in suites.
Yeah.
The guy would give us 2 tickets.
We
He'd-
never got sweets.
Well, no. Here's the thing. You
So
think
wait, no.
you think, oh, sweet, you got sweet tickets. No. We're just giving you tickets to get in the building, and you're sitting in the suite, but it's not like the suite's not on. There's no food in it. You're not getting any of that shit. You're just getting. You're
just
walking
sitting
in the
there.
door, and sitting there. We're not doing anything with this space tonight. You can sit there
There's,
and watch.
there's
the
only
game.
one person working on the suite level, and they're by the elevator.
and they're by
telling you,
they're by the owner who's actually paying for it.
over there.
Yeah. So like we'd get tickets all the time, and I'd sit there they moved to that building in '98, and I grew up in Coral Springs, so I'm like 5 minutes away from that place. So I went to 1 million games, sat in that arena with 5,000, 7,000 people, probably Josh Rappel, just staring at that one shitty banner that we had for winning the fucking East back in '96, and then a couple of banners that said like hosted the All-Star game and hosted Celine Dion concert on New Year's Eve, and I'm just like.
You gotta put what you can.
And I'm sitting there watching us lose to the friggin' Bruins 5-2, and with like Oli Jokinen and fucking Radis Ojelis, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
this team's never gonna win. They're never mind get to the like those years where they'd make the playoffs. It was like, oh shit, they made the playoffs. That's great.
Yeah.
But win a round, win 2, go to the fucking Stanley Cup. That's never gonna happen. That's what it was for me. I was just like, I can't fucking believe this.
I
Like,
mean, even last year though, when the Heat and the Panthers went on
Yeah.
that wild
that's-
run as 8 seeds,
that was exhausting.
I remember I told Mo, I was like, I think I'm getting heart problems.
Yeah.
I'm like, because they would both be on. I'm like,
It was
what is happening?
In the finals, it was every other night.
Yes.
It was like Monday Heat, Tuesday Panthers,
Yeah.
Wednesday Heat, Thursday Panthers. It's like,
It's
can
like,
I
give me a
have a travel day, please?
It's a good problem to have, but also it wasn't good for my health.
It's a good problem to have, but it's better if you're not a fan of any of the teams and you're just getting good action in sports
Enjoying
every
it.
single day. But when you're a part of the cardiac kid nation,
And when you're in it,
Cats. Oh my god.
that everyone's fucking losing it, like no.
And then we both like laid an egg in the final
got
round.
smoked in the final.
God.
That was the thing. It kind
God.
of went south real quick. I mean,
Yeah.
the Heat somehow won game 2. Remember they won that game 2, and it was just like, shit, are we gonna do this? And they got pummeled at home.
No.
Game 3, I'm like, we are not gonna do this.
We were bullied.
I was watching
Out-rebounded.
highlights of that last couple nights ago of game 5, and the final score was like 91-84. And I'm like, we really dragged those dudes into the mud. Like, if we had any shooting at all, we would have won that tournament. We would have won that
Yeah.
series. Like, that team was scoring like 120 a game, and every single game we had them like below 105. Like, we dragged those dudes into
Yeah.
the mud. We just couldn't score.
Everyone that's always played us always says we beat them up.
The Heat play.
we-
They don't
we
quit.
put them through the ringer. Those fucking guys don't stop.
The Heat are like a hockey team in that
Literally, yeah.
hockey teams don't ever quit. And we all learned it in the finals here with Edmonton. And I remember I'm a pessimist. I'm always a pessimist. But for whatever reason with this Panther team, since the All-Star break, I've been telling people, I'm like, they're going to win it. I'm like, I've seen, and I'm not some damn hockey expert.
But this is also, I'm the dumb guy here when it comes to this. This has also been kind of, not a long time coming, but this has been in the works in the sense that they've been assembling these pieces.
Yeah.
This is actually, this isn't just a one-off thing because, yes, they made it last year, but it's also been a couple years of this planning and stuff. Management, coaching, everything actually being
So they got a new general manager, Bill Zito, a few years ago.
These fucking guys love each other.
He got
apparently,
us
for
into
real.
the playoffs in COVID year, which was a weird they played every game in Edmonton and it was just whatever. I think the Lightning won the cup that year. And then
was that the year they only wore one skate?
What? That was the year they cheated. Cheaters. But and then the Panthers won the President's Trophy 2 years ago with the best record in the regular season, and then last year they went in and they were totally injured when they got to the finals, and then this year they made 2 or 3 moves to make them a little bit tougher, and they won the damn thing. And I was like, they're gonna win it. But then they get up 3-0, and that's when I get the most scared. I'm just like, all right, guys. Hockey teams don't like in the NBA. If your team gets down 3-0, they quit. We're out of here. We're going to Cancun. Piss off. Hockey players are like, fuck off. Hey, we're gonna come get one, and then we're gonna get another one back at our place, and then we're gonna really put the pressure on you back at your place. And I'm just like, oh my god. So 2 years in a row now, one of our teams has been up 3-0, and like almost puked it. And I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna be legendary. Like we're gonna be historically bad. And
well, that's the thing that Mo was telling me to like, because at one point I was like, that's it, we're done. I don't see, they're so fast, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't see how we're going to win it. And though I did say that though, kind of to like jinx my, because I had been saying game 5, game 6. I was like, we're going to win it. We're going to win it game 5. We're going to win it game 6. I'm like, you know what? Nope, we're not going to win it. I don't see how we're going to beat Edmonton. Those guys are way too fast. Like, no, we look tired. We look slow out there.
It's so funny.
And it worked. Well, I don't know if that's what it is,
dude,
but it worked for me.
I love superstition so much, and I get so much shit from this from my friends. I got to tell you, the shirt, I had a shirt for the road games, and I had a shirt for the home games. And I would not, and I sat in the same spot on the couch unless we were at the game and then whatever. And for games 4, 5, and 6, we hosted like watch parties. We wanted people to be with us so we could fucking celebrate when we won the damn thing. And for game 7, we invited nobody over. It was pure family. It was just me, Cello, and Allie. We switched seats because I was like, I can't sit in the seat anymore. We're losing in it. I combined the road and away shirt instead of wearing whichever we were. I put the away shirt under the road shirt.
First time this series?
First time I ever did it.
First time period.
And I'd spent all games 4, 5, and 6. Anybody at work that was like, Billy, are we gonna? Because I do like a little sports report at my camp, and so everyone thinks I'm like the sports guy. I'm not an expert. I just talk about it, whatever. And they're like, "Are we gonna win?" I'm like, "We're fully winning tonight." I'm like, "You're gonna go to bed at 11 o'clock tonight, happy as you've ever been in your life." I'm like, "We're winning it." And then for game 7, people are like, "Are we winning it tonight?" I'm like, they've been playing a different sport than us for the last 3 games, so I don't see how that changes tonight. And about midway through the first period, I'm like, "Okay, we might be in business. We might be okay. Nobody moved."
Then we scored first. I was like,
that was the whole thing. It's like, if we score first, we're fine.
You had to set it.
Even though they tied it up like a minute and a
I
half
know,
later.
like 2 minutes after they tied it up.
And then
Still, we scored first. Like,
and then you score with 5 minutes left in the second, and then you just hang on for dear life for the rest of the. I remember the intermission going into the third period. I was just like, this is gonna be the longest 20 minutes of our lives. Like, this is gonna suck. Like, every time out, you're gonna look up and it's like, why is only 10 seconds right off the clock? We've been watching this for 6 hours. What's happening right now?
That's when I was watching it like a maniac, where you're looking at the play and looking at the clock, looking at the play, looking at the clock.
Yes,
constantly
the
looking
whole
at the clock.
time.
And I was like, why?
The longest 20 minutes of my life.
I was breaking
Hockey
the.
never stops.
I was.
Why is
Yeah.
it stopping now? Why is this?
What is icing? Why is this icing? Why is this again? I'm trying to explain what icing is to people. Like, I still don't quite get it.
Every 8 seconds, an icing comes.
We would like decorate our like place. We'd have the Florida room. We decorate it, and then at one point we stopped doing it in the Florida room and we watched it in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So we were supposed to all watch it. We went to like game 5 and 6. We went to the practice facility.
Oh, Iceplex. Yeah,
to
awesome.
watch it. We lost both times.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. No more Iceplex facility. But we also couldn't go because Mo got called in to work game 7. So I was like, go.
Yeah.
I was like, go, be there if you can. So I told my son, I'm like, look, we're going back to the Florida room because that's where we haven't lost. And he's like, okay, let's go. We decorated the Florida room and we won, bro.
I wanted to fight Marcelo because Marcelo doesn't believe in any of that shit. And after Barkov scored the 4th goal in game 3 to put us up 4-1, he breaks it. The flag, he's got this Panther flag that had been stuffed in our car underneath the TV in the TV stand where all the other sports flags are. And he breaks the Florida flag out and he's running around with it and he's calling people and he's like, yeah, this is amazing. It's 3-0. We're going to clinch it. We're going to do all this shit. And I'm sitting on the edge of the couch and I'm watching the game.
Oh, God.
And they score. And now it's 4-2. I'm like, they scored. He's still talking to his whatever. Now it's 4-3. And they score again. Now it's 4-3. Yeah. And in my head, I'm just like, he broke that fucking flag out. And he fucking ruined the juju. It's butterfly effect. He fucked it all up. Like, he fucked it up. And I'm like, I'm so upset. So I'm like, I'm keeping this to myself because I'm a crazy person, okay?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck, Billy? Nothing that happens in this living room affects what happens on the ice over there. No.
Can't tell you any different.
Yeah, fucked it up. Can't tell me any different. Play game 4, right? Flag is out. Now he's got the flag displayed on the TV stand. 2 of the towels are holding it up. We've got little, like, fucking bobblehead dolls or God knows what's up there. 8-1 final. And I'm just sitting there going,
burn that.
Sitting there going, he fucked it up. Fucked it up. I'm like, we're gonna be historic. I'm like, we're gonna fucking blow this fucking series because he brought that fucking flag out. And I didn't say anything because I'm like, listen, I'm not a psychopath. Before game 7, I'm like, put the fucking flag in the fucking TV stand. Like, take it down and put it in the goddamn TV stand. Like, we're gonna do everything we did for the first 3 games. I understand. He's like, you're psycho. I'm like, I am, but just do it. What does it matter? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yep. But if I'm right, we win the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we won.
And who was right?
Me. The crazy guy with the superstitions. We played so much better and different in game 7 than we did in 4, 5, and 6. Why? Because the flag was in the fucking TV stand.
It's us. It's those people who are like that. That's why they win.
If you believe in energy, all of that is congregating to produce that outcome.
You want to feel like you're in control of something you cannot control.
Exactly.
Game 5, after we lost in game 4 and we watched the game in the Iceplex, I told Mo and my son, I'm like, if we are losing by the first period, we leave.
Yeah.
And we were losing, and they didn't leave. My son's like, no, mommy. I'm like, we're going to lose.
I mean, that place is really nice. I wouldn't want to leave either.
We didn't leave, and we lost.
And we lost. See, I watched the clincher against Boston there. So I've got good juju with that place. That's fine.
I don't.
There was there. Shout out Bruce. He was there. The whole mob was there.
Yeah.
Laura and Andrew Ember.
So that's where it was, the practice facility.
Yeah, the new one they have in downtown Lauderdale at the War Memorial.
How far from the Sunrise from their arena?
10 minutes. No, but you got to jump on. You got to jump on the highway to get there. You got to go up 595 to get there. But like the one in Springs that they practiced at forever, Incredible Ice. It was 5 minutes. You'd get on Sawgrass Expressway, you'd fly to the arena, and you were at the arena. It would literally take 5 minutes because the Incredible Ice was literally right off Sawgrass on Sample in Coral Springs, and you just go to Oakland Park or Sunrise in Broward to get there. It was quick, but this is east to west, so it's a little bit more of a trek. But man, is it nice! And all the players live out there now. But originally, a lot of the players lived in Weston, Coral Springs, Parkland, and so having a building out west was fine. But they really wanted to dump a lot of money into the program, so that's what they did.
And
it's nice.
They left at the same time.
The store is really nice.
They left at the same time as the Heat from Miami Arena.
The Heat hung in there 2 more years. The Panthers Arena was built in '98. I think they started there in '99.
And the Heat was in 2000.
Yeah.
Like New Year's Eve or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and then the arena hung on for the arena was still there when we worked there. We worked for the Heat. The original arena. I remember being able to look out
Yeah.
off the concourse out to the old arena
For like 2 more seasons or something.
maybe 08 they tore it down.
Yeah,
08, 09.
yeah.
Yeah. That was crazy. That place was obsolete the second it opened. Like that place, they just threw that sucker up there, man. It's terrible. You got your boy. Shout out Miami Stadium.
Shout out Miami Stadium.
Wow.
He's got the print from the Miami Arena print.
Nice.
Orange Bowl.
Right,
there.
and he pointed out that in the Miami Arena print, well, all the fans on the staircase, they're not just wearing Heat stuff. There's 2 or 3 people up there wearing Panther stuff,
Vamos
holding rats. Yeah.
Yeah. The rat made it.
That was my first game, a Heat game, was in the
old arena.
A
Yeah.
Heat
Same.
game?
Yeah.
Same, yeah. You
It's the
remember who?
Magic. The
Huh?
Magic.
Mine was the Sonics. Sean Camp.
Wow.
Awesome.
Shout
We
out.
actually went to, because I went with an after school program, and we went to meet, the player I got to meet was, I always know his name, and right now it's like, I'm not getting
He
it.
played for the
On the
Magic or
Heat
for the
or
No,
the
the
Magic?
Heat, the Heat.
in the arena. Was it
Yeah.
not Zoe?
Keith Askins?
Alan Ogg,
Wow. This is the first time the name escapes me.
Grant Long,
I've always been like,
Glenn
I met
Rice,
so-and-so. He was the first player I ever met for the Miami Heat.
Jamal Mashburn.
No.
Steve Smith,
No,
Bimbo Coles,
no,
Rex Chapman,
no,
Billy Thompson, Rory Sparrow,
no. Let me check the money.
Damn, bro.
John Sunvold,
John Crotty.
John
No.
Crotty, Walt the Wizard Williams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't believe I forgot his name. Like, this is the first time I've
Dan
ever.
Marley.
No.
I'm trying to think of white guys. I'm such a piece of shit. I'm just
Joe Timmy.
Zoe Timmy, Billy Owens,
Harold Miner.
Harold Miner again. Harold Miner the second time. Ronnie Cycli,
No.
Sherman Douglas.
Dang, I cannot believe I'm forgetting his name. This is literally the first time I bring this story up, and
Anthony Carter.
no.
What year is this? We're going to get to the bottom of it.
I'm running out of old Heat players.
This is pre-2000, so.
Grant Long again.
No, not Grant Long. When I hear
Kevin Willis.
no,
Kevin. Longest tenured guy, right? 20-plus years? Kevin Willis?
PJ Brown.
PJ Brown.
J. Brown.
I should have did better.
Shook my hand.
Number 42.
Yeah, number 42.
For
Shook my
your
hand. I was
Miami
like,
Heat.
nice to meet you. Yeah.
PJ Brown. So Miami Heat, Orlando Magic, Miami Heat,
Seattle Supersonics. Got to see
Miami
Sean
Heat,
Camp.
Toronto
I hated
Raptors.
the Sonics back then, though.
A young Toronto Raptors.
I also saw the Raptors. The only 2 games I ever saw in the old arena were the Raptors and the Sonics.
Mm.
Damon Stoudemire on the
I
Raptors.
had Damon. My dad got tickets from some very wealthy client that my dad's a self-employed handyman. So the help got the tickets from here, and tremendo hook up here, sitting at the scorer's table.
Oh.
4 tickets, and I took a friend from my school, and he's like, "Bro, your parents are loaded." Did you see the car we came in? Like, no, what the fuck? Like, no
It
chance.
was a gift.
And Damon Stoudemire was sitting on the scorer's table and looked over at us and gave us a little dap.
Dang.
And I kept nudging my boy, and I was like, "That's Mighty Mouse." He had no clue.
That's
But
funny.
I'm a lefty. Damon Stoudemire is a lefty. Little Mighty Mouse tattoo. Shout out to the Raptors, the Sonics, and the Magic for our
Yeah.
first experience in the OG Miami Arena.
Yeah.
My first Panthers game was at the OG Arena, and I got to sit on the glass because my buddy Justin knew somebody who had season tickets on the glass, and that is why I became a hockey fan that day.
I've never said
Because
it.
if you
Me either.
the thing about hockey that I tell everybody,
Me
Me either.
I've actually sat on it like 4 times.
I mean, I've sat where Dale sits.
Yeah,
Which is pretty,
basically on the
pretty
glass.
friggin'
Row 2.
close, bro.
Shout out to Dr. Corey Lesnar.
Yeah.
Those are his seats.
When no one was going to the game,
Exactly, they were very available.
we would go down and Dale would be like, "Hey,
There's
row
plenty
6,
plenty
2,
of
4."
room.
Everything except the glass was
Yeah.
taken,
Mhm.
or not taken, was vacant.
There was 2 Heat season ticket holders that were very kind to those of us in the entertainment team, and they would show up with no bullshit manila envelopes, and they'd be like, "These are all of our season tickets to the Panthers. Pick whichever game you want." and they were on the glass. They were on the glass, like at the blue line. It was crazy. Where the Panthers scored twice, so going that way twice. So I've been to like 3 or 4 games on the glass. It's pretty cool. And I tell people when you see it live, the reason seeing it live is such an experience is because normally you go to a sporting event and like the hardwood is the hardwood and the fields are the fields. But if you go to a friggin' a hockey game, the ice is so bright white and the colors of the uniforms just kind of like explode off the ice into your face, and it's literally like watching the posters on your wall come to life. That's the way I described it. I'm like, it was crazy. Like you've never seen.
You're such a poet.
You're saying, the poet's heart. Everyone always says that.
Thank you.
That's a great description though, for real, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
It does.
Because I grew up, I didn't have the posters on my wall of hockey players. I had other athletes, baseball, basketball, football, but I was playing the video game.
Yeah, a lot of that too.
So
a lot of that too. Mm-hmm.
Because I either played the video game or I played that, I don't know how you would call it.
Air hockey, bubble hockey. Like
game.
foosball or like bubble hockey?
But it was the hockey one. Yes.
Bubble hockey.
Yeah,
with
like
USA versus USSR.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would play that, and I would play the NHL starting with 95. Goated.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is, odd numbers, because 95 and 99.
Well, 94 was the last year they didn't have official teams. They only had, it was NHLPA 94, and they only had players' names, but then you played for like Chicago, generic Chicago, and then it was like, there's Jeremy Roenick, holy shit. And then 95 was the first one, like they got the official logos. And then you could play with the fucking Panthers. It was incredible. It was like
so that's why it was so like groundbreaking.
Yeah. And the gameplay was the game was amazing. Shit was amazing.
Next level.
How many fights over NHL on Genesis?
I was gonna say, it's that too. The sounds of the game, like oh my god, the control those guys have on those skates.
It's ridiculous.
It's
they never fall down. Ever. If you even watch AHL hockey, which is like the level below the NHL, which is like the best like minor league, junior league hockey guys, those dudes fall down all the time. Like those dudes are going down a breakaway and they're face planting and sliding into the boards. NHL dudes, they never fall. Mm-hmm. They get hit constantly and they never fall down. It's crazy. Yeah.
Some of these pictures too that I've seen, these shots that they're like skating sideways. It looks like those Gran Turismo fucking motorcycles that are an inch off the ground because
full
they're
on
taking
lean.
These angles.
Like, from crazy.
From
with
ice
another
level?
person next to them.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Winter Olympics too, like when it has like
speed skating.
Speed skating.
And the way they like stop at a dime, just boom, stop, or like to make a.
It's insane, and they're all so big. Alexander Barkov is so big, except for Bobby. Bobby is so small. Bobrovsky is so small, but he's hidden behind all those pads. Yeah. But when you see him in real life, he's very skinny.
The guy that shout out to Jeremy Taché, the guy that
Lomberg.
Yeah,
Lamborghini.
He's not that big either.
But Lamborghini has 0% body fat. That dude is jacked.
That's why he was at the parade shirtless the whole entire time.
If I looked like Ryan Lomberg, I would never wear a shirt, even on the ice. I'd be like, I'm just gonna play like this. I'm good. I'm not afraid.
Yeah,
I'll be all right. Sadly, Lombo went to the Calgary Flames today. 2 years, $2 million. We lost 5 guys today. Montour, Ekman Larson, Lomberg, Stoley, and Stoley's the backup goaltender. And I can't remember who else. But yeah, we lost a lot of our back line, fourth line guys. Klay Thompson went to
Klay Thompson's gone too.
Yeah, but that's it. Just the way the timing went was like, we had the parade yesterday. Yay! You wake up this morning, you're like, we're leaving.
And then Lomberg was probably one of the most lit ones in the parade.
Lomberg actually lives on the same.
He doesn't know he got.
I know.
Lomberg actually lives on the same cul-de-sac as my one of my very good friends, and so they like know each other. He sees them all the time, and then like the kid. But when my buddy's got his kid with him, he's like, say hi to Mr. Lomberg. He's like, hi, Mr. Lomberg. So whenever he would do anything on the ice, my friends are like, oh, Mr. Lomberg, kicking ass. So it was such a bummer that he's leaving, man. But that's how it goes when you win the championship. All of your players now all of a sudden become way more valuable.
You already know that's gonna happen, and it's so sad.
Yeah, but we replaced them right away. We signed 4 guys today too. We signed a backup goalie, a guy named Strieger. We signed this dude Greer, who I was told by a fan of another team. I was like, that dude's a tank. He's gonna knock the shit out of people. So he's gonna be your Lomberg replacement, like your energy guy. Another guy to play center. It's a lot of guys on the 4th line because we extended Sam Reinhart. Yeah. Barkov is locked up. Chucker is locked up. Like all these dudes are locked. Bob's got another 2 years before he probably retires. So yeah, so it should the good times should keep on rolling. We'll see. As Coach Pat always says, you got to fight off the disease of me, because now once you win the title, you guys got together for this team oriented thing. And if you can go on YouTube and watch the Game 7 mic'd up, and watched Lomberg going up and down the thing, talking to the guys, going, "We live forever together after tonight, guys.
I saw that.
We live forever tonight." And it's just like, holy crap! These dudes loved each other. But now Chucker's going to be a superstar now. Dude went shirtless into the friggin' ocean with the Stanley Cup. Like, that dude's going to be on commercials. Alexander Barkov is fucking going to be a star. Bobrovsky. So can they pull their shit together in about, I don't know, 10 weeks when we open up camp, because it's right around the corner? Can they pull their shit together and make another run? We'll see.
Because they
disease of me. We'll see.
I love this cliffhanger. We'll see.
We'll see. And we'll be here to cover it for you. Not at all in the three list, because we are not a sports podcast. If you can believe that. Let's get back to talking about Florida state of Florida college football.
No, so seriously,
to put a bow on it though, man. The fucking Panthers. Wow.
Shout out to the Panthers. Thank you for eternal memories. We all now can say we have lived to see a Florida Panthers Stanley Cup championship.
I've been telling the kids at camp, I was like, not only are the Panthers Stanley Cup champions, you're a Stanley Cup champion now. I'm like, so you got that with you? We call it the Summer of Stan. I'm like, it's the Summer of Stan rolls on, even though I won't be talking about them every day. The Summer of Stan rolls on. I'm like, and who knows? You could be like out with your family in Las Olas having dinner, and the Stanley Cup might just walk in.
Yeah.
Anton Lundell might just show up at El Camino with the Stanley Cup. Like, hey, it's my day. Who wants to touch it? Shout out Josh Appel. He went right to Elbow Room the day after they won it with Matthew Tkachuk, because Josh works a lot of weekends and stuff. He's your voice of the Florida Marlins. He's the PA guy. Miami Marlins, excuse me. He went right to Elbow Room and he got a picture with the cup, and I've never been more jealous in my life. He walked up to the door, and he knows one of the equipment guys. That's how he's friendly, and that's how he kind of got hipped up to the info. He walked to the door, and the door was like private party or whatever, and he's like, "Oh no, I work for the team." And since he wasn't dressed like a fan, he didn't have a sweater on or a bunch of shirts. He just had his regular, like, normal, like, everyday Josh gear, but he had like a Panthers, like, official hat. He was like, "No, I work for the team." The security guy stepped right to the side, let him in, and Josh went right for the cup. So yeah.
Oh, Mo has a friend that works for like Big Bus, the company.
Yeah.
And he's on the bus and has no idea like anything about hockey. And so we didn't realize at the time, because we were just like trying to look for the players, and we saw like Bobrovsky, and I think Lomberg was on the same bus as Bob. So this morning he's like talking to Mo, and he's like sending him these pictures like, "Who are these guys?" I'm like, "You were on the bus with Bobrovsky and freaking Lomberg, and you don't know? Like, you don't deserve that."
Yeah, it's crazy.
You don't deserve it.
It was funny. The girl standing next to me at the parade, the random next to me, was just like, "I don't recognize any of them. They all shaved and got haircuts."
That's true.
Because in hockey, and you grow your playoff beard and you don't cut your hair, so they all looked like hobos by the end of Game 7. They've been at it for the maximum amount of time. And then they all immediately shaved, and I can't imagine. I think that's the first thing I would do too. I'd be in the locker room with the cup, like they're spraying champagne. I'd be like, "Hang on, I gotta get this off, please."
Yeah.
Well, Bruce, speaking of sharing memories with the cup,
man, Bruce, I know,
out of the cup.
I know. At Rhythm and Vine last night, the cup showed up at the staff party after the parade last night. Our boy Bruce got to drink out of it,
and everybody like communion at a Catholic church.
Yeah, just getting beer poured in their face.
Next.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my hands on that
more.
Thing.
What was it? Coors Light. Another Coors Light in there.
Probably Coors Light, official sponsor of the Coors Bar on the Sweet Level, where you can catch Billy every first and second intermission at every Panthers home game, assuming I get in the building.
To Billy, shout out to Cello.
Shout out to Cello. Assuming Cello doesn't sell his tickets that night, Billy gets them and gets to eat prime rib and then hangs out at the Coors Bar. It's great.
All right, so we're coming back here to messaging Jason Jackson.
That was like 45
Oh my God!
minutes
Yeah,
ago.
that's like a whole pre-NHL.
Listen, nobody has a better Euro step than me, where I can always bring it back to right where we left off there. And it was he was asking you for your resume.
Yeah.
Per se, so
I needed more experience. Sent me to CS, to Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Exactly.
Got my internship there.
Go see my friend Stugatz over at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
You graduated under Professor Stugatz.
Yeah, I think he did mention Stugatz. Actually.
Come to CSB, buddy. We'll get you whatever job you need.
Yeah. Then he was like, get you an internship to the Heat through CSB, blah, blah. I did that. Funny story.
So you moved from the West Palm area to Miami then I started moving. This or whatever?
Well, I had moved to Broward with my brother, my younger brother. previous to that. Trying to remember why we even moved. I think to get away from our parents at the time.
That makes sense. Enough is enough, right?
No, I mean like
You're
a
long enough.
Spanish like Hispanic parents are like at least my parents, as long as you lived under their roof, we couldn't do anything. It's like we were treated like little kids, so we're like, look, we need out. Like let's go as far away as possible. So we went to Broward though. We didn't go to Miami.
As far as possible.
Yeah,
we went one county
we went
over.
to right.
Hey man,
How dare
the Muck to
that's
Broward,
far from us.
That's far.
That's a big deal.
Broward to Dade, that's far, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're all and
worlds apart.
This is so crazy because I was there was some dude on Twitter that was like, yo, I'm glad they're having a parade in February, or I'm glad they're having a parade in Fort Lauderdale because if they have in Miami, that's bullshit because Miami never shares their titles with us. I'm like, buddy. Like, you could have very easily went to the Heat fucking parade. And the Marlins, last time they won, they brought the damn parade down the riverfront.
Yeah.
So, like, the South Florida teams are the South Florida teams.
Yeah.
It may say Miami in front of them, or it may say Florida in front of them, and they play in fucking Sunrise. But this is Palm Beach, Dade, Broward's title.
We have season ticket holders at the Heat that are from Boca or from West Palm.
Yeah.
Still coming to the game.
Well, all Palm Beach, like Pahokee, West Palm, Lake Worth, Wellington, like all of them are like generally Heat fans or like South Florida team fans.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, that was so weird. I've like never heard. The one thing about this region is, or like we fight amongst each other. Like you ain't really 305, you 954, you phony. But like to the rest of the state, we're all the same people, and it's just like.
And I used to hate that being in Tallahassee. Right. Because they'd ask me where I'm. They're like, oh, are you from Miami? Spanish chick. So they'd all assume I was from Miami. You're from Miami. And I'm like, no.
Casual Tallahassee racism.
I'm like, I'm from West Palm. It's the same thing. I'm like,
it's not.
It's really not. It's completely different.
Shit, Palm Beach is like two different planets because Pahokee and like Wellington, those are different places, okay?
One is out the Glades. Like, you have Clewiston, Belle Glade, Pahokee, South Bay. Let me not forget about South Bay. South Bay, that's like the Glades. And then you drive out further east or a little more east and that's where you have your Wellingtons, Lake Worth, Boca, Delray.
The money.
That's where the money is.
That's where the money is.
The Breakers.
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
The property is easily worth $1.7 billion.
Shout out to Gus. Spent some time at the Breakers. Just closed on a crib out in West Palm Beach. Gus.
Nice.
The left side of the homie picture there on the wall. And UFC extraordinaire. You weren't here for that. Damn.
I don't remember that episode. I don't know why. It's weird.
It's weird.
I think Jerry Jones has a house out there too.
Sounds about right.
And Jupiter.
Who's that guy?
That's not.
Jerry.
Between the Cowboys and the Mexican national team, I just don't know who causes me more.
You want to know another thing that my friends are going to rip me about? They're going to rip me about not being a college graduate, but being very opinionated on colleges in the state. And they're going to rip me to shreds for sitting this close
to a Cowboys fan.
No, to a fan of El Tree. Because
that too,
the shit that I say about you guys during the Gold Cups and the Leagues Cups and everything is
what is
horrific.
Yeah, I get it.
Inform me, what is this?
So the Gold Cup is the regional tournament for CONCACAF. CONCACAF is the regional designation for North America and Central America and the Caribbean. Yeah. And so
I've seen those tournaments.
Every 2 years they have the Gold Cup, which is a championship of that thing. And occasionally Canada and Jamaica, maybe Honduras will fuck around and get into the final. But every fucking year it's USA versus Mexico in the final. And it's Dos Acero, it's Donovan, it's Landon Donovan. It's Landon Donovan peeing in the what's the name of your guys' stadium? That big place?
Estadio
Azteca. I know this. I don't know why I remember that. But so he peed on it once, and they hate his guts for it. So sometimes
Donovan peed on the field.
Yeah, he had to.
That is like a historic stadium.
Yeah, historic in that we beat them there all the time, but it's not that big of a deal.
Stop it! It's hosted World Cups. Like it's a historic stadium.
Well, I mean, if it's named Azteca, it's literally from the fucking OG times.
Yeah, like it's
and everything.
From the ruin and rule times of everything.
So like, I fucking hate the Mexican national.
You know what's funny though, because like I'm super American too. So everybody like during like when we play USA women's though, I actually like the women's team. But like when we play the men's team,
because what's the Mexican women's team ever done? Come on.
Wait, we just won our first against the USA women's. But whatever. Anyways, we're talking about the men.
I can't hear you. I've
we're
got 4 World Cups stuffed into my ears.
She shares in
No,
that too, Devin.
I do. Okay. Anyways,
Yes, we all like Megan Rapinoe very much. Okay, keep it going.
I hate the USA men's team, and they're like, "Oh, but you were born here. How could you hate them?" I'm like, I'm first generation, right? So like, I grew up with my parents watching these, games, and I saw how heated these games would get. And obviously, my parents were like Mexican, and they would root for Mexico. So it's ingrained in me to like root against them. I'm like, I don't hate the country. I love the fucking country, But
I've never been to Mexico. I would totally go to Mexico. Seems like a fucking banging place. Cancun seems like a good ass time.
You know how many like Americans have moved to Mexico in like past years? Like
Holy
it's
fucking-
insane.
Might have a better government. Let's keep it a bean at this point.
Listen,
I fucking
I might go.
My, how the tables have turned.
the turns have tabled for sure.
The turns have tabled and the shifts have shifted.
But I mean, I fucking love Mexican cuisine. Fucking huge fan.
So like I'm saying, like I say all these things. I'm
Tequila,
like, listen.
we take a
We
shot of
took a
tequila
shot of
every,
tequila, yeah.
every episode here.
But the team, so like I have friends that tell me like, I'm sorry, I just hate the Mexican. I'm like, listen, I get it because I hate you guys too, and I live here, but I get it. Trust me, no offense taken.
There's only one Mexican national team player that I would not that it's not on site if I ever see them. It's like if Rafa Marquez walked in here right now, just blood everywhere.
Chicharito.
I would
What?
kill him.
How?
I would kill him. He's done horrible things to my team. Just horrible.
I was gonna
things.
say, is it because
He was so mean to Clint Dempsey. He was so mean to Clint
he's
Dempsey.
our goal?
Chicharito. Chicharito scored so many goals for Manchester
Because
United.
I was gonna say because of Man U.
Yeah,
I already saw that. Yeah.
So many goals for Manchester United. Gotta love me some
They had
Chicharito.
to.
God.
Are you involved in football outside of Mexico?
Yeah, yeah. So I like Barca. I actually went to see Chicharito when Man U came down here to Miami. I was at that game.
When they played Liverpool?
Yeah.
I was at that game too. Shout out. Me and Dale were at that game. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I at that time did watch more Man U and then just stuck with them. Same reason I kind of stuck with Barcelona because that's where Rafa Marquez played at during the
Many years.
Ronaldinho era. So those teams stuck, and like now I don't watch Man U as much as I watch Barcelona.
You shouldn't watch Man U. They're fucking terrible. They make me so sad. They're the
I
opposite.
mean, Barcelona's not good right
They're the
now
opposite of
either.
the Panthers.
Though.
Yeah, Barca's they're in a bad spot right now.
They
man.
are horrible.
They committed so many atrocities during the Messi era that now
It's like
now
horrible.
UEFA is like, just go sit in the corner. Like, but just get over there.
I needed this Stanley Cup win because like between Mexico, Barcelona, the Cowboys, like I needed that
Yep.
for my health.
Dude, the Heat are having a bastard of a time right now in like free agency and trades, like that they're not doing anything. Like they extended Bam, okay. They brought back Kevin Love for a couple years. And like it's so bad on Heat Twitter, which is my main like focus on Twitter. But it's like a couple days ago, I was like, can we not fucking talk about this for a couple of days and just keep enjoying the Panthers?
Enjoy the cup.
Can we like not get into the cap ramifications of trading for Donovan Mitchell? Like stop, please. I don't want to do this again. Like
And everyone ends up like the dude from Always Sunny with the bulletin board, like
right,
all
yeah.
these crazy scenarios.
Yeah,
We're
man.
like, KD if we trade.
Yeah, that's
them.
been me. That's why I've been so into like just this right now. Like Panthers are right
Because
now.
it's
Go
tangible.
Cats,
It's
go.
on the ice and it's happening. Everything about
Yeah.
the problem with the Heat fan base, and I are you still with ETV?
No, not anymore.
Okay, good. So we can talk shit about them. The problem with being a Heat fan is a lot of the new fans and a lot of the current fan base is like it's transactional in that your whole being is making the big move. And so those are almost more important than even the games. It's like, no, we got Braun and we got Bosch and we traded for Jimmy and it's led to all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they expect it. So if there's no massive transition,
Oh, baby!
Please
Sorry, it is time. Breaking news from El Portal. Take it away, Bill.
coming at you, Junior. It's the 97 Thriller Sports Update. Currently, in a game I don't have significant money on, the United States men's national team, in a must-win game against Uruguay, is currently tied 0-0 at halftime. Meanwhile, in the other game, in a game that the U.S. desperately needs Panama to not win, just lose or tie, they lead Bolivia 1-0. This is a terrifying result for the United States of America. If these results hold, they will be out of Copa America. And it's a thing ironic that I made fun of Mexico yesterday for being knocked out of Copa America. And now we're also probably going to get knocked out of Copa America unless we find a way to score against Uruguay in the second half. Preferably Christian Pulisic to cash my bet. This has been your 97.3 List Sports Report. The temperature outside is a little cooler because all it does is rain. That'll be the end, and let's get back to the thrill. It's back to you, Junior.
All right, Bill. Thank you for that update. And
That might make me feel a little bit better.
It's called Schadenfreude. Also going on in the Euro right now is so Germans have the Schadenfreude. My group chat is losing their shit. Apparently, there was a questionable refereeing decision in the first half that the U.S. should have benefited from.
go to the VAR.
But that
El VAR.
I feel like they've been against not to sound
The common ball refs have been against the CONCACAF
the
teams.
CONCACAF teams, bro. Like
100%.
it's been ridiculous.
The worst thing that could happen is a CONCACAF team wins.
Yes, I'm
Wait,
like,
so we're in it right now? This is the CONCACAF
So
company?
this is the Copa America, which is the much older and much more prestigious version of the piece of shit Gold Cup that we play
Yeah.
for every couple of
this
years.
is the South American.
This is
thing.
the South American one. So this is Brazil, this is Argentina, this is Uruguay,
Colombia.
this is Ecuador,
The better
Peru,
one.
Chile.
Yeah.
the better one.
So the better one, yes.
I mean,
They're
no,
the better
listen.
one.
It's the better one, but it's always Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil.
So they've held.
Colombia.
I don't know how many times they've held it, but Argentina's won it 16 times. Uruguay's won it 15 times. Brazil's only won it 9 times, which led me to ask Marcelo. I'm like, do you guys even care about the Copa? Because you're Brazil. Why do you only have like 9 of these? They care. They want to beat Argentina. They hate Argentina with everything, but they're about World Cups. So whatever. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Regardless, there's a lot of World Cups down there in South America. There's a lot. There's
So that's what makes
5
them,
for Brazil,
yeah.
3 for Argentina, 2 for Uruguay. I like
Yeah.
there's money down there, baby.
Nuts.
In CONCACAF, there's like one appearance in the final that Mexico had, I think.
No, not even.
You've never even
Wait,
been?
in the Copa America?
In the World Cup.
No, never.
Never.
Nobody
We've-
in CONCACAF.
We've never been further
Nobody,
than the quarters.
The quarter.
Yeah, we've never been further
I
than
would
the quarters.
love for like a Jamaica cool running story to happen.
You know what? Yeah.
In the World Cup.
Of
Now-
all the
Or
CONCACAF
has it
teams,
happened? Like any?
no.
What's the shittiest team
Costa Rica,
to appear?
they went to quarters. That was like
I
the
mean-
last like feel
Oh,
good
wow.
story.
The Dutch.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
the Dutch have been to the
recently, or what,
final.
10 years ago, 8 years
Yeah.
ago, whenever that was. Yeah, I remember that. The Pura Vida. Everyone was
Pura,
Pura
yeah,
Vida.
yeah.
Everyone was Pura Vida for that.
They all
that
hate-
dope, though.
Mexico and USA.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
especially
the
us.
worst thing for the rest of the world would be if the United States started paying attention to soccer. And like, granted, the strides we've made in the last 25 years have been amazing, and we're not so bad anymore. But if we really started like throwing money at the problem, it would be like our women. Like
Yeah.
our women were ahead of the curve because we were one of the first countries to let ladies do things. It was basically us in Germany in the first few World Cups, and then China got into it, and then now it's global. So it's going to be harder to win women's World Cups going forward, which is why it's smart that our women have banked 4. We just kind of got 4 sitting there now
Get that out
chilling.
the way.
That's nuts. Like
Yeah.
a factory, too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is it 4 or 5? 4.
No, it's 4.
4. Yeah.
But they won like 3 in a row, right?
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
They were in
That's
3
insane.
They were in 3 finals in a
Yeah.
row. One the last 2.
Martha.
Because before,
And Alex Morgan's not.
Brazil.
that's how old we're getting, is
Yeah.
that the young superstars from that early
Yeah.
team, they're all getting pushed out now. Like Rapinoe retired, Carly Lloyd's out,
What?
Alex Morgan just didn't make the team.
Yeah.
So it's all these kids now.
Dennis Rodman's daughter.
She's
I've
She
seen
is,
Trinity
yeah.
Rodman. Yeah.
She's good.
So Trinity Rodman and Sophia Smith are like this new era of American female striker, in that they're just fast as shit.
Yeah.
Like
And power,
Alex
too,
Morgan
because
and
there's power there.
right,
Yeah.
Alex Morgan and Mia Hamm and the
Yeah.
other strikers that have been in the U.S. program have been
Was
more.
Brandy Chastain a
Brandy's like
striker
a
or no?
Brandy. She was a defender.
Oh.
Yeah. But they were more technical. They were skilled. They were positional. They were always in the right place, right time. Sophia Smith and Trinity Rodman are just going to smoke you. And their tactics are not
Yeah.
always great because get on side, but they're always like flying towards the goal. So we're kind of in a transition right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in this Olympics, which the Olympics for the women is like the second major. Like there's a women's World Cup and then the Olympics count. Like they really go for it. For the men, the Olympics are like an under 23 tournament.
Under 23.
And then you're allowed to send 3 senior players if you want.
That's when we have won. You won gold. In the
Right,
Olympics.
right. You sent because you sent Rafa and Chicharito and didn't you?
That was in Vela. Was in his younger
Those-
age.
those-
Before Carlos Vela no longer like wanted to. Before he got to
Was
that
Dos
phase.
Santos on that team?
Dos Santos was on that
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
So they had that.
They had a lot of young.
That
good
Dos Santos
talent.
team is the team that
Yeah.
smoked us in the Gold Cup
They
final
had
like
a lot of
5-1.
young good
Yeah.
guys that time.
Damn. So
And then since
Mexico has a gold medal.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking prideful, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
they got
I
one-
lost my. I think.
Hell yeah.
I think they got one before Brazil got one. Like Brazil,
Yeah, they did. They did.
Brazil
'Cause
made it a
Neymar did it. He came. He
So
was
Brazil went ahead and fucking sent Neymar.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you know what? This is stupid that we haven't won this thing. It's a
Yeah.
soccer tournament. We should win it. So they sent
Sent his
Neymar
ass,
and they
yeah.
won it. Yeah.
As I was telling Mo, because he's like, oh, nobody cares about the Olympic. I'm like, bro, Brazil sent Neymar.
Yeah. Once they
They
sent
care.
Neymar, that was
Does
it.
Colombia have them?
No, that's why he said that.
I think they've only done it at a men's tournament. Like,
And nothing with James, like they didn't send his ass over there. Or they did.
I don't know. I don't know if they did and they just didn't win. They don't have one though. The crazy thing with Mexico in previous years is that they've had like under 17 and like these U teams win the World Cup.
right.
It's never transitioned to the actual team, the bigger team.
Yeah.
So we've never actually won a World Cup with the main team. So it sucks. It's like, okay, you have these young players that are obviously very promising. They've won a World Cup before, but then you do nothing with that talent.
You can't get over that weird hump,
Yeah.
like that 18.
We don't
hump
get
that
past
just-
that first.
That's,
Football at the Summer Olympics. Oh, they've actually been playing since 1896. So I'm an idiot. Let's see who's won all the men. all the-
tournament?
Yeah.
what is that? The World Cup?
No, the
Olympics.
Olympic
Ah.
the Olympic. Let's see who's won. Okay, so this
Yes.
goes all the way back to like 1896. So we'll just go back to the most recent. So yeah, so Brazil in
Give us
2020.
whatever we've been alive for.
Brazil in 2020. Please hold.
What year did Mexico? That's when I moved out here actually, when Mexico won the gold.
To Miami.
Yeah.
Or
No.
Broward?
Miramar. Yeah, I lived in Miramar.
Shout out Miramar.
Yeah.
Shout out Miramar. Shout out Pines. Shout out Hollywood.
I
not
do love
Hollywood.
Broward.
not Broward.
Stop that.
Stop that.
Him and Dale gave me shit because when I said, yo, I'm moving to Broward, they're like, shut up. You? Mr. 305? They call me like Kendall and shit because we don't know what to call it. Like, and I'm like, yeah, oh my God, I'm going to move in with Luica. Shout out Luica. And they're all excited. Oh, damn, with the Rook, where y'all going to be at? Pines.
Nah.
That's not
Broward.
Fucking, that's North Dade. Get out of it.
Yeah, Pines doesn't even think they're Broward. They're like,
What?
I had friends in Tallahassee that were from Pines, and they all were like, we're from Miami. Until like I realized, yo, like your cell phones are like 954.
Your streets have
Yeah.
names. Your
It's like,
streets
oh,
have
but
names on numbers.
Broward is, I mean, Dade is right there. We're closer.
is.
We're more Dade than we are Broward.
754.
Again, it's the 954 305 thing. Okay, so Brazil has won the last 2 golds. Then Mexico in 2012. Argentina, obviously. Cameroon, randomly.
Shout out.
Nigeria,
Samuel Eto'o.
Nigeria, 96. So you can kind of see when
Wow.
the South American team started taking it seriously.
Yes.
Spain, Soviet Union. Actually, Soviet Union and then France, and they both beat Brazil in the final. So maybe Brazil kind of... Now we're getting it. 1980, Czechoslovakia beats East Germany. I'll have you
Whoa.
know that neither of those countries exist anymore.
Wow.
So there's that.
Tight.
So that's soccer in the Olympics. Meanwhile, on the women's side, they probably
Oh,
only let ladies start doing stuff in the last 20 years or so because the Olympics are notoriously corrupt. Let's see.
yeah.
Yeah, the first. Oh my God, the first one was in '96.
Oh, wow.
U.S.
That was the first one?
That was their first women's soccer medal. It was awarded in '96.
So coming out the gate, they set the crazy standard of
Yeah, so the U.S. won it.
everything started and
Yep.
they won the gold medal
Yeah.
and like just,
Norway beat us in the final in 2000. U.S. won it in 04, beat Brazil. That was Marta's team. Is Marta on that
Marta.
team? She sure was.
I think she's retired now.
Yeah, I was gonna say back in 2004, Marta was 1,000% on the team.
Yes.
She's been playing for 100 years.
that's a bad
We won it in
I was
08.
going to say, no, she.
We won it in 12. God damn, we won them all. In Germany in 16, and then the last one definitely wasn't us. It was Canada. That was like Canada's biggest deal. Canada beat us in like the quarters that year. We won the
So
bronze.
I mean, okay, so
Disgusting, the bronze. I hope they didn't even take the medal.
Mexi-
Leave it there. It's not what we get. That's not what we're coming here for.
cut the medal off, let it fall to the floor,
If you-
just walk off with the ribbon. I don't
Bling,
Keep
bling,
your-
bling, bling.
keep your
Beneath me.
keep your paperweight.
That's if you go to Alex Morgan's house, she shows you like all of her trophies, and you put your drink down. I'm like,
It's
oh,
the
do you have a
coaster.
coaster? She's like, yeah, I've got the bronze medal from 2020.
That's probably what she uses it for.
My daughter
That's a
likes it.
flex though. That's
Yeah.
a flex. That's pretty dope.
The Canes used to keep bowl trophies that weren't national championship trophies in the offices, in the football office, as doorstops. They would literally put
floor?
They would literally put Orange Bowl trophies on the floor. This is back when we were good and cool, and
Ooh,
leave
that's
it on.
a long time ago.
So long ago.
Wow.
It's just the worst shit ever.
Wow.
And you know what though? Our offense is ranked 89 in the upcoming EA Sports game, so I think we're on our way to being back.
Oh, God.
I think we're real close,
we
guys.
cracked the
Almost
100.
I think we're
Cracked the
super
top
close.
100, baby.
You're back.
I think this is the year.
You're
Hold
back.
on, say it with me, guys. The U is back. That's right. I don't want to get too ahead of myself,
Oye,
but again,
marido.
7th best offense in
Marido,
NCAA
gracias,
football coming
boy.
out in 2 weeks. The 7th best, Junior.
I
There's
feel
110
like every
teams.
year you guys have like these expectations
Yeah.
with the recruitment.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, Dallas Cowboys.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, how I said, I see
I
a
plead the
piece of
fifth.
myself in all of it. Same shit. You're the same shit.
I told you this though. Cowboys in Mexico the national team remind me so much of each other. And I said this in the pod with my brothers. I'm like, because both fan bases are so insanely supportive and delusional.
And there's so much overlap.
yeah.
There's so much overlap.
That I feel like
Every Mexican dude I know is a Cowboys fan, without fail.
That's
There's
true.
a few Cardinals
That's-
fans,
yeah.
weirdly, but then it's all fucking.
or Niners. Niners too.
Niners.
Yeah.
I feel like more Chargers, but now the Chargers in LA again. But like there were a lot of Mexican Chargers fans for a little while.
Raiders.
I guess
Yeah.
because Oakland in
Yeah.
LA. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of
mainly
Mexican
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Mainly Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
That's-
are very similar. And I said it to my brothers one time in the podcast. I was like saying how if the fan bases would just stop supporting so much, maybe the ownership, like, the federation would do something, or like Jerry Jones would step down as GM because he fucking sucks. And my brother was like, no, they're not going to stop supporting.
The last Hard Knocks where they were like interviewing Jerry, and I was just like, this guy's 1,000 years old. Like, why is he still running football operations?
No way.
He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He can't possibly know what's going on. Just
No.
blank stares and mayonnaise sandwiches and just like mayonnaise sandwiches and Diet Cokes. Like, oh man.
They
this
always
is-
show him in the booth. He's facing the wrong direction. They're positioning him back to.
well, yeah, he's facing the wrong direction. He's watching the game. Like, this is horrible. Why would I want to watch this?
Just go away. Like,
Well, his kid's just going to
Enough.
take over.
Enough
on
is
his own,
enough.
right? It's not.
He is.
It's not going to be too great.
no.
Who's giving you more heartbreak and heartache, and who's giving you more just like
Joy.
joy and happiness?
Out of the Cowboys and the Mexican national team? Or
Yeah,
just-
like
God, neither.
The Florida Panthers. It's the
Yeah,
only.
let's go back to hockey. Let's revisit that. No,
I plead the fifth. Wait,
it's just the Cowboys every year. Like, we have this team, right?
Do you
We
remember? Do you remember the '90s teams? Are you old enough to remember? So I mean, that's 3 Super Bowls.
how many?
I bet I was like in elementary.
Okay.
How many
that's fine.
siblings?
Yeah, I'm one of 5.
Okay,
3 brothers.
And where are you in the?
I'm second to the baby. So I have an older sister and 2 older brothers.
Okay, so almost in the middle, almost.
Almost. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone is the same fan of everything.
No.
No.
I have a brother that unfortunately is a Gators fan. Very unfortunate.
Did he go there or no?
He
Or
did
just-
not. He did
Is this an
not.
out of spite thing? Is this a timing thing? Like fell in
He
love with
was raised the wrong way.
a
Clearly. No, I don't know where
It-
his life turned
mean,
so drastic.
Jacques Green was from the Muck. I mean, there's a lot of Riedel Anthony. Wasn't he from the Muck? There's a lot of Muck dudes at the Gators.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what happened to him. And we get into some really bad fights. Like, when this college season starts,
Not soon enough. August 31st. Can't wait.
like, that's when
It's
we'll
game time.
Canes Gators.
We've gone like
3:30.
we've actually like not talked to each other
Yeah, that's
because
good. That's
of a
healthy.
fight we've had. Yeah.
Like that?
But then when I told him, and he's like, I was like, when I went to FSU, it became more personal for me when you attack my team the way you do. I don't like it. And so
And it's your team now
like,
because you're there. Like,
yeah.
You got recruited by Bobby.
I got
you.
recruited by Bobby.
This is
we
me now.
left
This
FSU in the
is me now.
same year, bro. Like,
Dadgummit, girl, you're gonna come to Tallahassee. Dadgummit.
yeah, he
Pushed them out.
came
but
all the way to
it's
the Muck
also
for me.
Yeah.
09, it's time. It pushed out with you. For sure.
The president.
You brought me here. I'm taking you.
Yeah,
I'm taking you back.
with
Let's
me.
go. We out.
Yeah.
Vamos.
But
And then
They're
everyone
also-
else Cowboy fans? Or?
no, I was gonna say no. We're split between Dolphins fans. That makes more sense.
Okay, all right.
I also like the Dolphins.
I'll
though.
allow it.
Yeah, because growing up in South Florida, I also like root for them. But my first team is
Dolphins win a Super Bowl. You're happy?
Yes.
Okay.
I went crazy when I see Raheem Mostert at the parade yesterday.
Okay.
Like, he didn't see me. I like to think that he heard me yell because I saw him look at my phone a little bit. But I don't know if it was me.
Just to see if... as someone who's been in a championship parade before, Junior, I'll tell you that it's just a sea of
excuse
people.
me, multiple.
It's just a sea of humanity.
Multiple.
That's right.
Multiple parades.
You have been in multiple parades.
The Heat?
Yeah.
I was at one because I was with the Heat.
Okay, so yeah,
The
boom, here we go.
2012-13 season.
We're right there. So what was your first season?
That's right.
How did you get brought in right there after CSB? What was your first season?
That second year, the second championship, when Ray Allen
The
came
13
in.
year?
13,
The
14?
Yeah,
No,
12, 13.
12, 13.
12, 13?
Yeah, because you guys went.
Yeah,
We went the first
11,
time 11, 12.
11,
I
12.
came
Yeah,
in
10,
12,
11,
13.
no.
10, 11 was
11,
Dallas.
12.
Yeah.
11, 12 was OKC.
OKC. 12, yeah.
Interviewed for them, referred by Jason, sent them my resume. Got interviewed by Mo.
Jason Jackson, hey, take a look here. Take a look at this one here.
She had the audacity to message me on Twitter.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and
I
give
shot
her
my
a
shot.
recommendation.
Pahokie's finest, apparently.
You know what? That was my first email when it was AIM. PK's finest girl. I actually sent that. Oh my God.
If you don't give a damn, we don't give a
Yeah.
muck. Out the muck.
Mo, my now husband, was one of the ones that interviewed me. He was in there with James. They interviewed me. I got the internship. Started with 4 interns. By December, I was the only intern.
Damn.
I was also the last.
You survived Hell Week. I heard about
did,
that.
Yeah.
I heard they drove you guys all out to like Pirine and then dropped you off, and if the first one back to the arena got to keep their internship.
Yep.
I heard that happen
With all the equipment.
with all
Yeah.
your shit.
With all the equipment.
We're gonna take you to Wynwood. You have to find the most pretentious piece of art on one of these walls.
It was crazy because, like, as a Heat fan, like, being able
Film
to
it.
do that was, oh my God.
Tell us why it's pretentious.
Need another beer.
Funny you should say that. I was actually going to get one. Hang on. You stay there. You're the guy.
Welcome to the show.
What do you want? We don't have any more Stellas.
We do. In bottles. In bottles, though.
Do we have a popper?
Yes. Somewhere.
That's funny. I didn't know that you request a beer, you get a beer in this podcast.
Come on. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
I love it here.
Everyone does. This is home away from home for everyone that comes through to the stew. And now that you're here, boom, it's a home away for you from me.
You know what? I need this break. You know, I have 3 kids at home right now, and like they're probably driving Mo crazy, which is fine. He deserves it.
Well, get ready because at some point
It's gonna be me.
Mo will be on the show and it'll be your
It'll
time.
be my time.
I don't know how that's gonna go because I've never actually heard Mo talk.
You know what? My first year at the Heat, and I was logging like the media day stuff. And then
We're rolling this together.
UD says to somebody like, oh, you know, like he's like talking about Mo, and he's like, I've had several conversations talking to myself with Mo
Yes.
because Mo doesn't speak.
Yeah. Every single interaction I've had with Mo in the 16 years
Yeah.
I was with the Heat was head nod, head nod, head nod. What up, Mo? What up, Mo? What up, Mo? That's it.
Yeah. And I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like the social person.
Yeah.
And if it were up to him, he'd stay home all day, not talk to people.
I get it.
So, good luck.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Talk about Colombia.
We've never once had a bad podcast. Never once, Junior. Never once had a bad podcast. Not one damn time.
Way to jinx it.
Oh, gracias.
I don't believe in jinxes. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a lie. Don't turn the podcast into a house of lies. Drinking beers over here, brother. Cold one, brother. I had a beer.
Ching ching, motherfucker.
I had 2 beers.
So
What?
good.
3 beers.
This one didn't explode.
And a Bloody Mary.
The bottle.
Yeah, next time.
Tiny sword there still.
Oh, stupendous.
Ho ho ho.
Your tuna tartare will be out soon.
So damn, interviewed by your now husband and one of the greatest, kindest, most incredible souls that I've ever met, James Dawkins.
Oh my God.
Shout
yes.
out to him as well. So them 2.
Yep.
And
them two.
then how many interns did you say?
4. I was one of
And
4
then
interns.
one by this.
December. Then they hired 2 more in January. Those 2 more, myself and Edwin. Don't know if you guys know Edwin.
Yeah.
Edwin, we both got hired.
still
on
there, right?
Yeah.
Still
no,
there.
he's like with Jimmy now, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we got hired together.
What seems to be going around over there? Shout out to Santi. Weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's in the coffee and what's in the breathing?
What's in the breathing? What's in
Yeah.
the tennis plaza inventory? Not that Jimmy can't
What
afford
type
his
of
own
pickle
shit.
are they using on those pickleballs? what's happening?
Shout out to Santi.
Shout out to the fam, Santi.
At least Mo's
Edwin.
gonna come on the damn podcast, Santi.
Yeah. Santi.
Santi's not been on the podcast.
No, and he won't.
He won't be. He won't.
What?
Too afraid of saying shit to lose his job.
There's
Oh.
there's a 2-headed monster here that we'll never get, where it's Santi and Josh
Goshen, never.
We'll get
Never.
Jason Jackson on the podcast.
yeah, got that right.
We'll get Tony Fiorentino on.
Yeah,
before,
baby.
like, no Santi or Santi.
Can we do the
No,
podcast
Josh.
from Mount Vernon, baby?
Do it on a tennis court. He might.
You find Tony there. He plays tennis with like Joe Rose a lot, doesn't he? Like from 560. I think I've heard Joe Rose talk about they play
Yeah.
tennis again together a lot.
Playing
Old
with
dudes either
Jamie.
play golf or tennis, and I don't understand tennis because your ligaments just explode. I don't understand.
No chance.
I'm afraid to do
Hardest
anything
fa-
right now.
I tried it once and
Tennis?
yeah, it's not for me.
No,
Too
I
much.
can't do it.
Shout out to King Tetris.
Shout out Tetris.
Tennis god. He told me I would be perfect for pickleball because I'm not that good at tennis, but I get it,
Right.
and I'm pretty good at ping pong.
I was gonna say, how good are you at ping
So
pong?
this is the in between or whatever.
Yeah, tennis. Pickleball
All
is
right,
pickleball.
I haven't tried it yet. I haven't
Pickleball
tried
is ping pong if you're standing on the table.
it.
So,
Really?
yeah, basically.
Say
It's a
less.
huge deal right now. Pickleball, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everyone is
The
playing that.
hugest deal at the Panthers Iceplex.
Yeah.
Did you go out back? Did you see the
I did not.
800 pickleball courts they have out there? Yeah.
No.
It's a massive 2 ice rink arena for practice and stuff. In the middle, they have a concession area and a restaurant. If you go out and sit on the patio at a restaurant, it overlooks the pickleball courts.
Bro,
They're making that like a full, like, total access community center kind of joint.
that's nuts. And paddle, whatever.
Right.
The
Padel's
other-
more the beachy kind of.
But it's also
the harder
like
ball,
like a type of-
and the wooden rackets. I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Big in Brazil. Marcelo swears by it.
Falo português?
No.
No falo.
No fun.
Vai,
Ah,
vai, Neymar,
shout
vai.
out Marcelo. Shout out Marcelo. Damn. Okay. Hired. Boom. And then this is the second championship. You are hired as an intern in Heat TV, and you're working your way in what position? This is
I
like
became.
producer or
They
something?
hired me
or-
as PA right away. Well, they hired Edwin and I as PA, production assistants, mainly because we were the last wave of interns to not get paid. So they're like, we have to start paying you guys. So we're gonna bring you over permanently. We need you for the playoffs. So Edwin and I got hired, stayed, stuck around after the summer. We didn't know if we were gonna stay. They needed us for the summer. We stayed permanently. Later on, moved up to associate producer I was taken by Shannon to Inside the Heat as production assistant. From
Okay.
there, I moved up to associate producer and then producer editor.
And is Inside the Heat kind of its own little department within Heat TV?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're obviously do the actual documentary type shows for the Miami Heat, like
Some of my favorite stuff.
Still,
honestly.
still waiting. AJ
Honestly.
speaks. Still waiting. on
Yeah.
that.
It's
Mine.
it's
Still
low key
waiting.
for me. It's like our local little 30 for 30s and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
in a
exactly
sense. Like,
And
It's
as
fire.
a Heat fan, like I remember watching them grow, like watching games or after the game, seeing the Inside the Heat shows, and so that's more even like how I was like knew Jason Jackson, Eric Reed because of the shows that my brother and I would watch, my youngest brother particularly. So when I started working for the show and we would do things, and I mentioned to like a fan at a community event about Inside the Heat, they'd not know what I was talking about. Like, I pick out the real fans if they know what Inside the Heat is. Or if you don't know, like even if you don't watch it, if you're watching a game, they promote it,
all the time.
right? So I'm like, even if you don't watch
You
the
hear
show,
E.
you
Reed saying like,
Stay tuned
For
after the game for Inside the Heat, where we're Shavlik Randolph.
yes.
what?
If you if you like
find out.
DVR games, most of the time you'll get the first 10 minutes of a
Yep.
Inside the Heat.
And then it
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
cuts off
So
after.
to me, I'm like, you don't watch the games because if you did, you wouldn't hear the promos or Inside of the Heat, and even if you don't watch it, you'd at least know about us. That's how I'd weave out like the real fans.
Shout out to Marvin the Marantula Johnson, because we would stay up all the way to Inside Israeli Basketball, which would come on after.
What is Maccabi
After
Tel Aviv
the
up to
games.
this week?
What the?
So crazy is. Damn.
Wow.
So that was that your last position there,
Yeah, that was my last.
doing Inside the
position.
Heat?
Yeah.
What
That is-
year was your last season?
The pandemic, 2020.
Damn. So you worked the bubble time
Yeah.
and all of that, and
We did. That was my. So we.
Was there an Inside the Heat about the bubble?
Yes, there was. We won an Emmy for it.
Really? Why the fuck haven't I seen it? I remember looking for it. It's got to be out there. I'll find it.
Yeah. Well, we
somewhere.
covered more so like COVID leading up to why we had to have a bubble, and the bubble itself was like the fourth segment.
Okay. I felt like that would be a big documentary with like the run we made and
Mhm.
everything, and it made Jimmy and Big
Yeah.
Face Coffee and the whole deal. And I don't know why I've never seen it. How did I never
damn
miss
picture
that?
of him.
I've seen all
hunched
like
over.
5
Yeah.
D Wade episodes.
It's a
Like
big-
I've never seen
Yeah,
the bubble episode.
I remember seeing
They got to be on the Bally's app.
you like
probably.
like styling him and everything, like setting him up. Or
That was actually the last show I lead
for-
produced.
Oh really?
Was the Wade the retirement when he had his jersey retired
Yeah.
that whole weekend? I lead produced that
That was
one.
like 2 weeks
That's
before
it.
COVID.
yeah,
That's it.
right before COVID.
Yeah, it was the last.
So-
It was my last happy memory for a long time.
Yeah.
I would look at those pictures. And like, we were all so fucking stupid. We had no idea.
everybody crushed that for Wade.
Yeah.
Entire
that was
weekend and
crazy.
everything.
The whole
It was-
weekend.
Yeah. And he was just in my whole time at the Heat, he was one of my favorite players to like cover and go and do his events, because he was the nicest, most humble superstar ever. Like whatever you wanted him to do, like where you need me, do you need me here? Do you want me to say this? Like during the whole like 3-day weekend, whatever I asked him to do, where I wanted him to, he was doing it. Like there was never like any pushback from him. You kind of get that sometimes from like
There's a lot of personalities.
yeah.
And
Good
also
way to put
those
it.
personalities
Yeah.
deal with a lot of personalities at times too. And
Mm-hmm. But
well,
he made it easy.
that weekend he kind of just looked like he was in the moment,
yeah.
reliving everything, and like a little kid just like come here, come there, and just like
Take me.
floating around.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Just just pulling everyone in for pictures. It was crazy. He's like, "You want a picture?" I'm like, "I do want a picture."
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
I'm like, "I do, dude." He's like, "You want me to come by the office?" Remember we went by the office and he signed for like he just went
Everyone.
and signed for the staff for the 3
Oh
hours.
my God, yes.
Except for Dale and I, who were at work,
Really? Did you miss that?
and nobody called us. We were super pissed. We were like, we would have left. We would have left camp and come down and gotten some shit signed. I have this huge like 8-inch vinyl D Wade, like that Upper Deck released or whatever, and I've always wanted to get it signed. Like it's the only reason I'm hanging on to the damn thing is so I can get it signed someday, and down the line. But that would have been perfect for that day.
Well,
But the dude stayed in the office for signed
yeah.
for 2 hours, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh well, it just kind of happened, and we didn't really have time." Like he was here for
Yeah.
2 hours. I'm only 45 minutes away from the freaking arena. I can get down there.
Yeah,
I
there
have
was,
a
like,
pass. They'll let me in.
A bunch of us, so like you would have had time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Hollywood went through twice.
they weren't thinking about your ass.
No,
Hollywood,
and like half of
Fuck
us were
no, they
at the
weren't.
Heat store because they're like, he's signing autographs too. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, let me go buy something.
Yeah.
I bought a jersey. He signed it. I have it framed now.
Hollywood went through twice.
Yeah.
He did the jersey swap with him. You know what, man? Whatever. I got my picture that weekend. It's fine.
He's
That was
talking.
actually the first time
He's
working.
talking to people on FaceTime and stuff.
He's so
doing
cool.
everything. Just no
Working
bill.
all those years at the
Sorry.
Heat, that was my first time taking a picture with Wade.
We'll run down a list of people that didn't call us. Let's run down a list of people that didn't call us. Hollywood ain't call us. Goshen ain't call us. Fucking Trickmaster didn't call us. Fucking Crystal didn't call us. Cassie.
He is
Cassie
going
didn't
through the
fucking
list.
call us.
And this is gonna be for the rest of the episode now too.
I just start mumbling. Just start mumbling
You're gonna
names.
be talking about the Cowboys out of nowhere.
Just start mumbling
John
names.
Lee didn't call us.
John Lee did not call us. It's a fucking good call.
Clara
Jeff
didn't
Craney.
call
Claire
us.
didn't fucking call us. Jeff Craney didn't call us. You know what? That was not Jeff Craney's place to call it. There's people under him that should have called us. Fucking Said didn't call us. We'll make it weird.
Said didn't tag us
Yeah, I
on
mentioned
Twitter.
Josh.
Call us. Fucking.
Nothing.
Josh Santi.
Now I'm thinking Santi didn't fucking call us, but that's
Santi.
typical Santi. He didn't fucking
Yeah,
never
well,
call
no,
us.
Santi.
This is the airing of grievances episode of the fucking Three Lists. Now they're all gonna be mad they didn't get named. Like, what are you talking about? Crazy Andy didn't fucking call us.
Oh my God.
It's funny how for the people that
Jen
Don't
didn't fucking call us. Jen.
for the people that don't work for the Heat, have
Doesn't
never
matter.
worked for the Heat,
Doesn't matter.
or don't know things about the Heat and how it's set up and stuff. Heat TV is on another
On the other side of the planet.
when it comes to
Yeah.
the rest of like the Heat office.
If I find myself inside Heat TV, I have fucking made a mistake. I went in the wrong door.
Yeah.
I went the wrong direction.
it's funny when I've ended up in Heat TV through the garage
Uh-huh.
after like parking the fire truck, or
Yeah.
some shit, and going through this door, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's Heat TV again.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys.
Why does it smell like that in here? Why does
Or
film
I-
smell
or
like
I
that?
cut through and I'm like, screw it. I'm just
What
gonna
does
go
it
to.
smell like?
It smells like film and tape stuff.
Well, I
Production.
mean, at the entrance,
a
right by
big
the
red
door,
room,
by the
man.
garage, was like all our archives.
The stack
like,
of the
stuff,
archives. Yeah. It's the same way the press box smells up top
press
when you
box
go into
upstairs.
the production
Very
up there.
So all the old shit goes up
Yeah.
there. Like you move all the stuff.
Yeah, it's like
that-
Glenn Rice's first game on a VHS. Like
And
what
our
the
summer
holy?
stuff too. Like, what did you guys do in the summer? Archived all that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Put it on digital, right?
Mhm.
Jeez.
Have you ever seen the marketing cage upstairs?
Yes,
Ooh,
I have.
on the 5th floor.
I have.
I can't imagine what the thing looks like now. I haven't seen it in years.
Always a
No
mess.
clue. We'll never
Yeah.
find out if Sandy doesn't come on.
You know how many bobbleheads are up there? So many. You know how many bobbleheads I have in my house that I took from the.
That's what they did the haunted house for.
Cool
Mo.
Richard didn't call us.
Cool Richie did not call us.
Cool Richard didn't call us.
You know that small space up there? That's where they did the haunted house for the Heat, for the players.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were producing that.
No, it was not. That's most thing.
Mo didn't call us.
Mo didn't call you.
Chris didn't call us. All the camera dudes didn't call us. The bushy haired,
Ted-
That's all you know.
the bushy haired camera
Ted
dude didn't
didn't
call
call
us.
us.
Ted didn't call us.
Edwin didn't call you.
No, didn't call us.
James wasn't there.
Mike B didn't call us. Either one of them.
None of them.
No,
Not
no,
one of them.
Not fucking
Not one of them.
Irie didn't call us.
Irie didn't call him.
But that was crazy though, because like Mo would not come home from fucking setting that up.
The Halloween shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't come
What-
home. I was a single mother that.
When
doing
did when did he start his? I mean, we'll ask him later too, but I want to get it from your side of things too.
Julian didn't call us.
When did he start that Halloween stuff?
That was the first time. Well, Halloween stuff in general, like period, like he's always loved it. He did that when he was young, all the way back to Colombia.
Natalia
Wow.
didn't call us.
He went.
Really like Natalia and I had a good relationship. I guess not.
Yeah, what happened?
She was really cool. We
No,
both
we're
worked there a
home.
long
This is
time.
unbelievable.
I understand.
Did you guys start together? What is it?
I mean, she was like just a regular old dancer when I started there. Now she's a
No.
big shot. Didn't call.
Taking pictures.
That's what
with-
happens, you know.
Taking pictures with
They
Wade.
forget about the little
Too-
people.
They do. They forget about
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
It's terrible.
So always a big Halloween one. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite holiday. So I'd be in on that with him. But he likes the horror shit more than anything,
Like
right?
the gory
Gory.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, because it doesn't scare him. Like he doesn't think.
Well,
when-
he has no pulse.
He
this guy
doesn't.
does.
He
This guy-
doesn't. It's crazy.
Cool
Like-
ass dancing usher didn't call us over by DJ corner there.
Olsen
Didn't call us, man. Olsen and I,
didn't
man.
call us.
Olsen and I have been through the fires, man. I
Unbelievable.
understand. Thought we were-
Going
thought
through
we
the
were
whole
friends.
company right now.
I am. I'm thinking about every person I've ever worked with in Miami Heat. It's a lot of people.
how long were you guys?
I was there 16
No,
years.
yeah. I was there half the time.
06 to a couple years ago.
I was there a minute and it was half his time, literally. I was there 08 to 15 and 07 to 2022.
So
Was
you're the
it last
most
year?
recent one. You've been with them 2022.
My last year was the year we lost to the Celtics in the finals. Jimmy shot going iron, so that was 22. Yeah, 22.
Oy.
Oy, fault.
Oh, I
Oh,
A
remember
long
that.
time. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. None of those people are my friends. None of them called me.
You're better now.
I love them all.
You're in
They,
a better
they know,
place.
they know I love them all. People ask me like, "You miss going down there?" I'm like, "I don't," but I miss my people.
Yeah.
I miss my friends, but
yeah.
I don't miss the drive, and I don't miss the games and working and stuff.
I say the same thing.
But
The camaraderie.
you miss,
Camaraderie,
you miss your
yeah.
people. And when I go to games and work my way down to the end, and you see everybody, and it's like you never left, and it's fucking that culture shit ain't just a t-shirt, man. It's real. But,
Real deal Holyfield.
but a little bit more real if they just made one phone call. I mean,
One more
I'm-
call.
Mine
I'm
was
speaking for-
one phone call.
I'm speaking for Dale too. Like you guys, it's lots of funny games. Mr. Bill's making jokes. Dale's pissed off too. I just want you guys to know. You need to know.
We have feelings too.
You need to know how pissed
I
off
mean, I
Dale
would be
is.
pissed off too. That would really make me mad.
We should get back to your podcast episode because I'm just gonna sit here trying to remember names for the next 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Well, it's a perfect time because
Bango, the movie's over.
remember the Titans.
The Titans won that game. I know you guys aren't gonna believe it. On a on a 75-yard reverse on the last play of the game. Doesn't seem realistic, but whatever.
You know,
The amount of times that Billy has complained about remember the Titans and the play.
Play drives me nuts. As a football guy, as a hand in the dirt guy.
And not only
Oh
remember the
no!
Titans.
Uruguay scores as soon as we turn the
we're going
game
to the VAR.
on, and then no, they're not going to VAR.
Estamos en el VAR.
That's a goal, baby.
It said VAR.
it did say VAR.
yeah,
It means
the
they
first thing.
It means they did review it and they scored it. They
Oh.
probably were seeing if he was offside.
It's late. It's late. It's late. It's late.
Yeah, well, it's over.
Oh,
So,
they reviewed
yes.
that.
Oh, they reviewed that? Yeah, they should have reviewed that.
It is the end of Remember the Titans, and it is time for you to name your top 5 favorite movies.
Welcome
of
to the
all
three list. Welcome to the
time.
three list. Welcome to the three list.
So I requested Remember the Titans for a reason. It is one of my favorites, if not my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, boom. Whoop, there it
there's
is.
that.
Remember
And then
the
another one that
Titans.
didn't end as glorifying as Remember the Titans, but that I also love because of its ending is Friday Night Lights.
Come on. Come on.
Please hold. U.S. is about to score. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. I got
No, they're
deflected
not.
away off the goal line. Kill me.
Shout out to
We're-
Booby Gibson.
we're not even gonna
Friday
go
Night Lights.
Which the movie? The movie. We're talking about movies, not
Yeah,
the
the
TV
movie.
show.
The movie. Yeah.
Okay.
And the most country accent
Mm-hmm.
ever, always held by homie from Fast and the Furious. Which one? The quarterback from Friday Night Lights?
Paul Walker.
No.
No.
I was
it
gonna say
wasn't
he's the
Paul
quarterback
Walker.
in Varsity Blues. You're wrong.
Yeah, but it's the no. This guy was in one.
Oh, yeah, the dude from he's in Tokyo Drift.
There it
What's that
is.
dude's name? I want to say Louis Black, but it's not Louis Black. Louis Black is the
The comedian.
comedian. But I'm pretty sure it's close to that. It's definitely Black. His last name's Black or something like that. Look at this goal that the U.S. should have scored.
I gotta hurt him.
That they just scored?
Yeah, they should have scored. They
Oh, I
didn't.
thought you
the
said
goal.
something.
Notice
You
notice
said
how
zero.
Deflected.
notice
yeah.
how Uruguay's goalie was all the way out at the 18, and our best player had the ball at his feet, and he managed to kick it into 3
Ooh.
players. Very irritating.
And it was our best player.
That's
who
our
did
best
that.
player.
That's how it's looking. So
Uh,
Friday Night Lights.
Fast and Furious.
and
Tokyo
remember the
Drift.
Titans.
Oh my god, I have
We got
so many. Shit, The Lion King.
Oh no!
Shit.
Oh my god, I'm a Disney person. Yeah, Disney.
Lucas Black. I was
He-
close.
he was-
Very, actually,
was close.
very black,
Very close.
black. Very close. Oh, breaking news in the middle of the top 5. I'm sorry, we gotta hold on this one. Mr. Bill, talk to the
I
people.
got a pretty good idea what this is, Junior, considering we just saw it live in front of us. That's right. 97.3 The Sports Report here on a Monday night, the day after the Florida Panthers Championship Parade. My sporting futures are all going in the toilet to coalesce now with the United States men's national team. They are down 1-0 to Uruguay here in the 76th minute. And if they do not find a way to score 2 goals, they will be going home from Copa America, an extremely predictable result. Now, it's bad for your self-identity as a U.S. national team fan, but maybe it'll get shitty Greg Baleharter fired finally. Don't know why they keep bringing this guy back, as Uruguay is on the attack in the final third to make this 2-0. Here's a shot on goal. Matt Turner with the save, and it's 1-0 remaining. The U.S. now down to 14 minutes plus extra time to save their bacon in Copa America. Enjoy listening to this a month later when you know who wins the whole damn tournament. My name's Mr. Bill. That over there is Junior. This has been your 97.3 This Sports Report. Enjoy it. I hope the roads are clear for you. 97.3 The Throws back to you, Junior.
All right, Bill, thanks for that again. Make sure you look left and right before you cross the road, listeners, and turn on that T-Swizzy.
Enjoy Taylor Swift.
All right.
That bit evolves and then devolves and evolves and devolves. You like my jerky sportscaster with coming at you?
Yes, it's amazing.
Coming at, I went to school for that. I didn't graduate from anywhere, but when I was in school, I was in it for broadcasting, and I was gonna be a jerky sports reporter guy.
And the only reason
Radio?
you didn't make it is
I wanna
because
do
you
radio.
didn't go to
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Shut up.
I wanted to be on the radio, and then the radio industry collapsed underneath itself. So there was no spots for just another guy.
And the same way you said that bit recreates itself, here we are recreating the radio. Welcome to our podcast.
Here we are
on
on our
the Free
podcast.
List.
live on tape 2 months ago when you're hearing this finally.
With IDFSU 09, episode 50. Favorite movies?
Yeah, we're three.
Friday Night Lights. Remember the Titans? The
Lion
Lion King.
You said you're a Disney person. We're going to get into Disney stuff when you're done.
Okay.
Ooh la la.
My favorite princess. Oh my god, I sound like a girl, but I'm not girl.
Finish your movies and we'll get into your favorite princess. I'm ready to have this conversation.
No, because it's
Especially
part of
'cause
my
you have
favorite
3
movies.
kids. Oh.
Beauty and the Beast, Belle.
Belle,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So is that
Yeah.
official pick?
Yeah.
Beauty and the
How many do I have?
We have imaging. That's 4.
4?
You have
I
two,
need one
you got
more.
two
Three.
Disney movies and 2 football movies, one of which is a Disney movie.
Yeah.
So
I
3
know.
Disney movies.
3 Disney movies. I don't like Disney at all.
Uno más.
Uno más.
What's Cambio?
Man on Fire.
Yeah.
Ooh, another
Denzel.
Oh my god, I didn't even do that intentionally.
Crazy Bear.
Yeah.
She likes when Denzel shoots the shit out of the entire city of Mexico
Yeah,
City.
it is.
It's really hits home for you. You're into that.
Yeah.
He shoots a rocket in the middle of the town square
He
into a
does.
guy's
Fucking
car.
crazy.
It goes crazy.
He's awesome. He's so good.
Shout out to
Creasy's on his death. He's about to paint his masterpiece.
I couldn't even think of 5 movies.
It's a shitty Christopher Walken.
That's
That's
a-
fine. You knew what I was doing.
We love it. That's a solid impression. Solid top 5 there.
I also like
So, like, would you consider yourself a Disney adult? I know you have kids, so you have that excuse.
Yeah.
But are you a Disney adult?
yeah, I am.
Favorite ride?
It's oof.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy, especially with all the changes they've made recently.
I haven't gone in like 3 years.
Really? All right.
2 or 3.
There's some
2?
stuff that's happened since you've been
2
there.
or 3.
How old is the youngest kid?
The youngest is 4, about to be 5 next month. She'll be 5.
So has experienced it, but as a toddler,
Yeah.
like baby, basically infant, like whatever.
She was like 2 or 3 when she went.
So that was the last time.
The older one is the one who's gone several times.
Consistently.
He likes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he does.
Who's his favorite princess? Sorry. I couldn't even get that out. I thought it was a funny joke.
Low key, we all have our favorites of everything.
Yeah, dude. I in high school, my friends and I drove up, and our plan was to just hit on princesses till we got thrown out. Then we all lost our nerve. But it's very expensive to get in there for a high school kid, even back in like '97. So
Terrible plan.
But we were
Well,
just
see, we would go more often when it was free for the kids.
Right.
But like now, it's like we have to pay for all 5.
Mm.
So it's like,
you're bringing a whole ass basketball team to the
yeah, like I'm not. No, it's expensive.
Yeah,
Yo.
it's crazy expensive. I can't believe it. And you would think with that kind of expense, once you get inside, everything is included. But hell no.
No.
Why don't you keep
Nothing.
paying for stuff?
Yeah.
This is something that I want to develop into a bit where it's basically like the complete opposite of Spirit, but still with like the same payment structure and stuff, because Spirit charges you to breathe, to bring in a bag,
Yeah.
to whatever, to exist.
You're getting off the
Yeah.
plane and like you took
So-
$275,000.
You're not getting that experience, like a Disney experience, but you're getting that same payment structure of
Yeah.
you thought the $1,200 that you paid to get in here was like you get a magical wristband that you can do everything and anything, and it's all you can eat and drink and whatever.
And the magical wristband costs money too.
Yeah. The pictures, you go for pictures, but those cost money.
Yeah, you got to
costs
buy the
money.
picture
Yeah.
package.
You
Otherwise,
gotta buy the picture package. So,
Mhm.
Or keep it OG and just take the.
and then
the
with
picture
kids,
from-
it's like you want to buy the fast pass because sitting in
You don't wanna wait online.
Yeah, with
No.
kids
Oh
is
my
crazy.
God.
We're not doing that. The last time we
Capitalism.
went,
Bless your hearts.
we were at the park and we were waiting. It was hot and like the kids were like getting crazy. And so Mo looks at me. He's like, "Just get the fast pass."
Mhm.
Fuck it, we got the fast pass.
Yeah, now
because-
you're on the app. Now you got to get there on the app. Now you're doing Lightning Lane. Now you're getting reservations. You're paying
Yes.
$14 per shot. Me.
5 of us, and I'm
Insane.
the one that does everything. So.
Bottle of Coke is $18.
He tells me what to do. I do it.
I'm the one that always sits out of the Disney conversations. I haven't been in 15 years or something. Something like that. I'm not anti or anything. I just.
Into the 18, Pulisic chips the goalie and it's off the post.
Oh.
83rd minute,
83rd
1-0
minute.
in away. That's a corner.
But they don't want the draw though, right?
I mean, you got to before you can win, you got to get the draw.
Right, but they're not gonna score 2 goals.
They're not going to score 2 goals, but we can fake it. There is a path in with a draw, but it involves Bolivia doing stuff Bolivia's never done before. So
you're wrong.
Corner kick into the blender here. No American gets ahead to it. Gio Reyna plays it back in off the right foot. Uruguay gets ahead to it, playing a little bit of volleyball now. It is at the top 18. There's a high foot. There's no call. Then Uruguay is free the other direction. 83rd minute. Uruguay going to take it to the corner and run some clock.
Luis Suarez.
Clever back heel. He's on the bench.
Oh.
He is not playing for them. He might be in now, but he has not played a second of this tournament just yet.
Okay.
Uruguay looking at a 3-0.
wanted to make sure
There,
you-
no, there's a ball in the box. A little bit of contact. Never going to get that call.
Not in
Haji Wright trying to get a little call here. Not going to do it.
I know no one.
I think they're trying to make the Copa America like
Christian Pulisic.
inclusive of everyone.
I mean, it's a
On the-
South American tournament, and they're hosting it in the United States and invited a bunch.
But
of
like, you know how like the Euro Cup is like the European countries.
Yeah,
most of them
just the
put
Euro
to-
because
yeah.
you have enough quality in Europe to support
That's
the tournament. No, nothing against South America, but that's what they were VARing. Good Lord, the U.S. had a header go off of the goalie, off of a defender into the goal that would have tied it, but apparently one of our guys was offsides in that blender. I wasn't paying attention, but that's what they VAR'd.
Goodness.
Cannot fall into live play-by-play for an event that happened 2 months after this thing got published. But you never know.
That was El VAR from two.
Yeah, you all know. I mean, you know the result. You're listening to this right now. You know who won Copa America, or you don't know Copa America because you
the
don't give a
Celtics are champions.
you don't
the
give a shit.
Panthers are champions.
We're 1 week into football season. This is so far in your rearview mirror.
Uruguay won 2 weeks.
Yeah, Uruguay got out of the group, and then what happened? They lost to fucking Colombia in the knockout stage. Like, okay, that's what
Oh
happened.
my god.
And it's the start of the basketball season.
Right.
What the fuck happened?
The Panthers are reporting for training camp when you're listening.
We
to
were
this.
just at elbow room. What just happened?
I just got over that chlamydia that I got at the elbow room. You know how expensive penicillin is? Fucking Panama goes up 3-1 in Bolivia, so that shit's over. The U.S. need
Damn.
the U.S. need 2 goals
This
in the
is
last
great.
however many minutes here,
Welcome to
probably
the show.
7 or 8 or 9.
This is.
Christ. Start turning your attention to the Olympics, America fans. It's over.
Oh, all right. So
How are the Olympics going, people who are listening? Is the basketball team doing well? I hope they are. I know the women are winning, but I hope the men are doing okay as well. Have you seen France's lineup? Dear God.
they sent everyone.
They look very good, France. I'm a little nervous about them.
All right, Lil Adi. Take me to 2020 after the Pandeezy. Take me there. What is happening post Heat life then? Where are you going after that? That is leading you up to present day pretty much.
So after that, I went to work for another production company, but this time,
The
as
Orlando Magic.
no.
Did
Like
you
I was-
did the pandemic did like your
Or
job just go
Bible.
away during the pandemic, or you just decided it was time to move on?
No, well, I was part time at the Heat that whole time,
Yeah.
and so like I decided I needed to move on, and I did. I got a full time somewhere else at another production company. But it was actually worse because of the like schedule. And as a mom with 3 kids, like I wanted something different for myself. And then Mo, obviously, too, like both. I just felt like neither one of us had any time with the kids, so
Right.
I ended up teaching after that production company. Like I only lasted there like 6 months. Ended up teaching, and I've been teaching ever since I left the Heat. And I've loved it. But then when I started teaching TV production, I realized I wanted to get back into like the production.
The
side of
actual
it.
production.
The
Production,
actual
production.
production, you know.
Where were you teaching?
Matterbrickle. Actually,
Shout out.
Clara's
Oh.
daughter goes to Matterbrickle.
I did.
Shout out, shout
Yeah.
out,
I did
shout
a.
out.
I did a bunch of events there.
Yeah. Nothing against the school or anything. Like I loved my admin. I loved the kids, but again, I wanted to do something in production, so I started that podcast with my brothers as well. I do have something else I have in the works. Yeah. But maybe in the 2 months by the time this airs, you guys. my next
We'll have a competing podcast.
Yeah.
You might have a third thing. going
Yeah, I
on
might have
other
a
than
third
that.
thing. And you'll know more by the time this one airs.
Shout out the podcast. You gotta
Yeah.
shout it out.
How We See It. It's called How We See with the C because we're like before I got married, Calderon. So it's like How We See It is a group of 6. I'm one of 6, my brothers, and then 2 of their offspring. talking sports, just kind of sharing how we see it, basically.
Strictly sports.
Strictly sports.
So nothing like this podcast.
Mm.
This is not a sports podcast.
This has been the sportiest podcast
It's
we've ever done.
not,
Actually, it's
right.
kind of. I mean,
She's a fucking trooper and knows
Yeah,
all her
for
shit.
sure.
And is always like, "What do you want to talk about, bro?" Like,
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like,
people are checking their phones right now. Did I put on 560 by accident? What happened? Is this Tobin? What are we doing?
sorry.
Here comes. Here, 97.3 list. Here comes Luis Suarez making his first appearance for Uruguay in the 88th minute.
Yes.
Please don't get injured. We need you for the Inter Miami run. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be the next championship we celebrate down here. The Inter
It's the
Miami.
last one we need.
Inter Miami will definitely
Yeah.
win they'll win the MLS, assuming all those guys are healthy. They're winning games now without
Without
Messi and
without
Suarez,
them,
so they're gonna win.
they're inspired.
Yeah. So in
They're
2
caught
months,
on.
when you hear this, we'll already be into the playoffs for the MLS. Tell us how we're doing. Send me an email.
What was
Send an email to 2 months in the past.
what was that championship thing that they won?
They won
Like
the
an in-season tournament.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Nations Cup or something.
Yeah.
It's a made up baloney tournament between the Mexican League and the MLS.
But it looked like tremendo celebration.
Listen,
They make up cups like every time.
Yeah,
It's not like
that's-
it's a new cup. Nations
that's the
Cup.
thing about soccer.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Can't keep up.
I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like I didn't get so involved. Like, just give me 2 cups, bro. Like a world and another. Like,
Yeah. So every team, just
world
about
and
every team in the
Olympic.
world will play you'll play in your domestic season, play a domestic cup, and then you'll play like a regional cup. That's all the teams from like whatever area you
Yeah.
play in. So, there's actually a fourth where the Inter Miami can play in the U.S. Open Cup, but they got bounced pretty early this year, so they can kind of focus on the regular season, which is good. Because in America, all anybody cares about is your domestic league, and they don't understand, like my shitty Manchester United. They had the worst year ever, but they won the FA Cup. So I'm like, all right, so this year sucked, but we won the FA Cup. That's pretty good. And there's only 3 things in England worth winning. It's the domestic, the FA, and then you try to win Champions League.
Champions.
So the fact that we won the FA Cup is pretty good. It was bad in that we kept our stupid coach, but it's good that we beat Man City in the final. So that was good. Suarez is going to score right away here, isn't he? Oh, he vault. Saved off the line, Matt
Christ.
Turner.
entering the 90th minute.
Yeah, there'll probably be about, I don't know, there's generally always about 5 minutes of extra time. If there's been any shenanigans, there'll be a few more. Damn, the U.S. knew what they were doing too, because anytime we play in certain cities,
Oof.
that's a foul.
Yeah.
Anytime they play in certain cities, they're going to be the underdog in their own building. Like, weirdly, when we play in Chicago, there's like 1 million Mexicans in Chicago.
yeah.
Bro.
We always
Yeah.
play.
I was in Chicago
Yeah.
when they were playing this
Yeah.
last year for whatever the
For
fuck it
whatever,
was.
yeah.
But it was a big deal that the team Jamaica was there too.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Might have been Gold Cup. It was during the
Probably.
summer, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it was probably
Yeah.
Gold Cup.
last summer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Gold Cup. 6
Bro.
minutes at a time.
Mexico, stand up.
I'll never
Yeah.
forget.
Everywhere.
We
That's the
scheduled.
thing, though. We sell out and we've been shooting. We don't do, like, there's no changes. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like,
It's like
There's
LA,
such a
obviously.
following, such a love, and there's talent, but used incorrectly because of what you're saying, like certain changes and stuff that need to be made that aren't.
ugh.
It's
Yeah.
me, the outsider, just the spectator. I realize that.
Well, it's
If I realize that.
when you have a team like Mexico that's been one of the top 10 teams in the world for 100 years, when it kind of falls apart, that's a federation problem. Like
Yes.
it's not just the national team that you see on TV. That's the problem. It's going down. Your U18 teams aren't good enough. Your U16 teams, and you're not developing players in their teens or whatever. And for a country like Mexico, which doesn't have, there's not a lot of hockey players coming from Mexico. Everybody's playing soccer.
Yeah.
You should be able to identify 12 guys that, when they're 8 years old, that can play in the national
Yeah.
team coming up. So,
And they're bigger. Like the problem with Mexico is like that they always say is that they're bigger like than these countries like Colombia, Uruguay. Like, why can't you find enough talent in your big ass
Yeah.
country with all these
Seriously,
people to produce something and give you further into the World Cup?
right.
Like, you should have at least have one World Cup.
Especially when you're like, okay, baseball's probably a big deal, right? There's a little bit of a baseball culture in Mexico.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's a fucking soccer
And
culture.
basketball's growing. over
Basketball's
there,
growing too, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, like the
It's
U.S.
still
sucks at
soccer.
soccer because the U.S. doesn't care about soccer.
Yeah.
Like not like we should, not like we could. It's fourth at best, So Mexico though, what the hell's your excuse? I read a story the other day about Barca. Barca shut down they had an academy in India. They had two or three academies in India, and they were thinking there's 3 billion people in India. we're going to be able to find some players in this whatever. They never signed one kid from India to go to a Barca academy. In a country of 8 billion people, they couldn't find one kid to play soccer. And everyone's just like, how? Like just in a lottery, in like a genetic lottery, how in the world does that not happen, you know? So like it's just crazy that these bigger countries just can't fucking figure it out.
What's nuts too is that sometimes you'll have the stars from these countries not play for their country or not represent their country or whatever. They get plucked to go somewhere else, etc.
But the thing with Mexico though is we haven't even had like a player be plucked in. So typically for like these players here in like North and South America, their goal is to play in the Euros.
Go to Europe.
Yeah.
Go play over there. Yeah. And like we've had like the Chicharitos or the Rafa Marquez or like to go out there and like, you know.
Yeah, Chicharito played in multiple. He played at
Yeah,
Man United.
Real Madrid.
He played at the biggest clubs in the world.
We don't have that right now.
You haven't had a guy play in the biggest clubs in the world. Like this American team that's about to flame out of the Copa America. This is probably the best American team that's ever existed. You've got Christian Pulisic, who plays in the Bundesliga
they have a lot
in Germany.
Of players in
Weston McKennie plays in Italy. Turner, the goalkeeper, plays for Arsenal. Like these guys are all European-bred players. Balogun is, I don't know where he plies his trade in club football, but he's British. We stole him from the British. He's got dual citizenship, so you know he can play. Like this is the best team we've ever had, and it's all because we're finally putting guys in Europe. Like back in the day, the teams that everyone remembers, the Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard teams. Those were the only two dudes playing in Europe, were Dempsey and Howard. Donovan even came back to the friggin' MLS. Like, you got to get these American kids out of the goddamn MLS. It's not good enough. You know, they got to go to Europe. So
yeah, same thing with us. Like Liga MX, which is our league in Mexico.
Right. Who's your Liga MX teams?
Chivas.
Okay.
Which also sucks. Like, I don't have, like, that's why for me right now, like, I just dedicated all my energy to
They play in
the
Azteca,
Panthers.
don't they? Do they
No,
play in
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara.
America plays in El Azteca.
Right.
Our rival.
Right. Club America, that's a logo that you've seen if you're a soccer, even if you're just driving around. Please score.
Yeah.
Please score. God damn it. Sorry. Ball deflected out. 94th minute already? Christ. This isn't going to happen.
They're not going to win.
They're not even going to score.
No. They're not even going to draw with them. I mean, but Uruguay 1-0, that's not.
Uruguay's really good.
Yeah.
But this was the problem.
Yeah, I was going to say you just didn't beat.
So they're out for real?
They're out. So the two teams, this guy right here is getting fired.
He knows it.
Fucking asshole.
He knows it.
He should have been fired. The story with him was like he was the coach for the last two cycles or whatever. Yeah. And just we've underperformed. But all the USF Federation, again, like I said about how Mexico's got a rot in their federation, we also have a rot in our federation. And a rot in our federation is as long as we're winning gold cups, they don't care. That's all they want to do.
Yeah.
So when we get into these international tournaments with real teams, we embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, they keep bringing back the same guys. It's a joke.
Yeah.
This guy's arm broken?
You didn't see this guy dive into Buddy's ACL?
Yeah. It's soccer. You can never really tell.
Are
you hurt? Are you not hurt?
They flop and hold their ankle like it just snapped in two.
Yeah.
And roll around 20 times.
Oh man, you gotta jump into that guy's boot and get the penalty. Take one for the country. So the U.S.'s problem is they were in a group with Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. And Panama and Bolivia are bad, and they should have beaten them, and they wouldn't have had to worry about this match. As it was, they got a red card early in the Panama match, lost that game 2-1, and now you have to come get a result against the best team in your group, probably like the third or fourth best team in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
So this is what happens, and now you're out. So there you go. And they did a smart thing. Like we were saying, the crowd is usually against them. When the U.S. wants a home crowd, they go to Kansas City. They go to Kansas City or they go to Columbus because that's when the Americans will go. You go to these other. You go to L.A. You go to Chicago. You go to Miami. You're gonna be the home team. You're gonna be the visiting team in your home stadium.
Yeah, because they're so.
There's just more of the other team's fans. That's it.
Straight to Cancun.
That's it.
Gone fishing.
Well,
three
of these jerks are gonna go to the Olympics now, though, since they didn't make a deep run in the Copa. The U.S. will send their under 23 team, but then they'll send 3 senior league players.
Well, there's Canada. They advanced.
And the annoying thing is they hired the coach that all American soccer fans wanted us to hire, but they didn't even give the guy an interview because for whatever reason, and then they rehired the old guy that they had fired. Not fired, but let the contract expire or whatever. And then that dude takes Canada into the knockout stage of the Copa. And Canada's been creeping for a couple of years. They won the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
They won the Gold Cup a couple of years. So they're putting guys in Europe now.
Shout out to Steph. Shout out to Canada. Steph's half Canadian. So.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You guys can have soccer. We're taking hockey. We're taking it forever and ever.
South Florida
Not
is
just
taking.
yeah, I was gonna say
hockey.
Florida. Yeah,
Florida.
This is
Florida.
a hockey town now, baby.
4 of the last 5 cups or
Tampa,
Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either Tampa or us.
Yeah.
The one year was Vegas when we were in the final. So
Got destroyed.
I think the year before that, Vegas or Tampa lost in the bubble
Yeah.
in their bubble. So yeah, so if you the Stanley Cup comes through the state of Florida, I'm sorry
that's
to tell
so
you.
crazy.
Sorry to tell you.
And it's awesome that our mascot also is named
Stanley. It's almost like
So
they
it
did that
came
on
home,
purpose.
A homecoming here. And with the crazy Stanley thermos.
Yes.
fucking
Oh,
thing,
yeah, that's
that
true.
craze that just happened now too.
Yep. The
Come
only
on, bro.
the only Stanley Cup you're gonna get, bro, is the one you buy at Target.
Target.
Suck on
Target.
suck on
Target.
that.
Yeah.
Connor
Target.
McDavid, you can go to Target and buy all the Stanley Cups you
That
want.
dude is
bud.
so good though.
That dude is so good. That dude is so good. He is terrifying.
The broadcasting made me hate him, like because they didn't show us any love
No.
the whole time. It wasn't like I wanted, like I would message Mo like when he would work, and I said I just want to mute this and watch it on mute
Yeah.
because they gave us 0 props. Even when we were like win, it'd be like, oh, they lost.
Friggin'
They lost the game more than the Panthers won. Like the Panthers should have lost.
They
Blah, blah,
can't
blah, blah.
believe they
Yeah.
lost instead of
They
oh,
had,
these guys won. Hey, they
Or like the
won
goals
because
for us
of-
were like, go, the Panthers scored. And then for them it was like, oh my God, did you? And like just, I hated it.
they had on the broadcast, they had Mark Messier, who played for both the Rangers
Yeah,
and the
no,
Oilers,
yeah.
who we played in the Eastern Conference Finals
I
and the
get
Stanley
it.
Cup Finals.
That's
Like,
what-
okay, we get. I see.
That's what
What's
I
going
said.
on here?
I was like, I
Screw
get
you.
it, but at the same time, like, you can't be that biased if you're on a
No, no,
national
no.
network.
Crazy.
and
They played their
that
goal song so
level,
many
too.
times, like coming in and out of like commercial breaks, and like they made such a big deal. Oil country and Canadians, and they want this so bad.
Every
Yada,
commercial,
yada,
believe.
yada, yada.
Yeah.
To do that in the finals, like it's one thing if you're doing it as like the Edmonton broadcast,
Yeah, right.
like,
If you're the Edmonton broadcast,
If we're talking about the Heat on Fox Sports, but
Right,
like, or sorry, Bally's, but it's like the national broadcast.
Mhm.
And you would think you're listening to Edmonton's
Yeah,
broadcast.
we weren't being paranoid about that. It was a slightly slanted broadcast. It was
they
not
would
great.
just talk about us as a defensive team,
yeah.
and
The Panthers are
and be
gonna
like, oh,
grind you out.
They're gonna grind you out. There they go again, doing what they do.
I'll give
Oh.
They do other
Sean,
things.
I'll give Sean McDonough credit. The main play-by-play guy. He would get his when Reinhardt scored the goal that eventually ended up winning Game 7. He was like, ah, let's go. He was like, fired
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Oh, that was the one time.
But like the analysis and like the halftime, the intermission shows were just like I couldn't even mute him.
Yo,
We'd
Well,
mute him and
yeah.
put something else on. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to PK Subban talk about friggin' Edmonton.
forgot her name, but the sideline reporter.
Yes, I can't remember her name either, but she was awesome. She was so good.
But she's not a sideline reporter. She reminds me of like an SNL character.
I think so too.
Like she was so like quirky with the.
Yeah.
She's literally
Yes.
like poking the players and like.
Yeah. She would end every interview in the player's native language. She would like say
Yes.
goodbye to him in the
And
native
they
language.
would always look back
yeah,
and
she'd
say
be like,
something.
okay, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, right, whatever, yeah, in
'Cause
Finnish or
they'd be
whatever, yeah.
So, what'd you think of the last goal
I
score
think-
here with the flip?
I think you're right in that she's not a sideline reporter, and
The
I
SNL
think
thing is funny.
She
does look-
immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, she reminds me of like all my
Yeah.
favorite characters blended into one from SNL. I'm like, did she have a theater background? Did she have something with this?
she's a hockey girl. That's what I
She's
think it is.
pure
I think
hockey,
she came
yeah.
up in
She's actually
hockey,
pure
and then
hockey.
she acts like she's like a hockey girl. I think that's what she is. She's not like a Carissa Thompson or Aaron Andrews. No disrespect to them, but they were like bred in a lab to be sideline
straight
reporters.
biz.
Like they're what you think of when you think of sideline reporter.
Yeah.
This girl is like a hockey girl. She's
Yeah.
got the short black hair, and she's got she's not 6'8" like those girls are.
It was so funny to me, so awesome, and that sign off every time because it'd be like that serious question, and they'd be like, you have to trust in your team and everybody work together, and these are my brothers here. I love them. I'm so glad we made it there.
Thank you so much, Babushka Bush.
I can't get the SNL thing on my
She
head.
totally baffled Evan Rodriguez though. She was like, "Adios, muchacho," and he was just like, "I'm from fucking Canada." Yeah.
He's also Portuguese, not Spanish.
Right. There's an S on the end, not a Z.
Exactly. Adios, muchacho.
He's like, I'm not Cuban. I don't know.
Oh my god. Totally stereotyped.
All right. So the podcast, you guys talk all sports.
Yes.
Okay.
All sports.
All sports. All sports.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all sports all the time. All sports.
Yep.
Okay. And your next project, you don't want to give the deets yet?
Yeah, no, because it's not even like.
She doesn't want anybody to steal it.
And yeah, it's just the
Smart.
idea right
Smart.
now.
On this podcast, that's gonna air in
Good.
like a
It's
month.
gonna.
So then we'll see.
I'm actually really excited about that one.
We'll see it in the notes when this gets released
in 2 months. I might have like 3 episodes out by then. So.
So,
All right. Okay. All right.
question:
Fine. That's
favorite number?
22.
Favorite number. Jimmy Butler's 22.
Yeah.
So, question for you. 22. What is This is the Duncan Robinson question. What is your favorite crayon color to use?
We only ask hard hitting questions here.
What?
Hard hitting journalism here.
Yeah. Favorite crayon color to use? I guess my favorite color.
Which is
Blue.
blue. Wow, Duncan Robinson's answer.
A specific blue?
We literally had to ask him what type of blue.
Yeah, and he said sky blue, and I said Carolina blue, and he got very mad.
Yeah, he looked at it. What the fuck
Yeah,
is wrong with you?
Michigan.
motherfucker?
His
I
Holder
would
had to,
say
like, hold-
navy blue,
Johannes.
Navy
blue.
Johannes had
Navy
to
blue?
hold him back, and Johannes also didn't call me. There you go.
but it's a tie between navy and royal.
Navy and royal.
Those are the two best blues. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm not even bullshitting.
You know, I was a big baby blue guy growing up
Who
because of the UNC.
who among us
obviously.
wasn't?
But then I grew into a
Your outfit.
navy royal.
Your outfit became 10% more fly if you had Carolina blue
Oh
somewhere.
my god!
You had the Carolina blue Jays, with
And I
maybe
had it
Carolina blue
everywhere
shorts.
too. I had these big ass baby blue cargo shorts from Epic in Dolphin Mall with a Jerry Stackhouse jersey
Yeah,
from UNC,
it goes without saying.
which was the white one because I had a baby blue Jordan bucket hat
Of course you did.
Mm.
that I would wear. And I had
Sounds like
these
every video on Rap City
White.
in
Yeah.
the late 90s.
white
So
and baby
awesome.
blue Air Jordan classic low tops.
Yeah.
You remember these?
Yeah.
The ones that had the Air Jordan
Mhm.
round Air Jordan one with the ridges on the Air Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Low top Air Force Ones with a baby blue trim. That was your boy here.
With the bubble swoosh.
After watching
Super 90s.
Yeah, I can.
BT, the basement.
Rhapsody the
and
Basement.
Come on.
What?
The booth.
Uh,
Big
Yes.
Tigger. Big Tigger.
Bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies, high prophecies. Can't describe it how we mobbing these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robberies. Flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted.
Get it.
Turn my mic up.
Turn
it.
my headphones down significantly.
What a time to be alive. That was the
That's the
time. though.
best.
That was the time.
Yeah.
Baby Blue. So, Baby Blue, 22. Why is that?
22 because
Sorry, I was just thinking about how I was just rapping Wu-Tang Clan and I stumbled over a few words and turned R's into W's. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Good. Rapping is hard. Shout out to Marty.
Rutang.
Shout out to Tetris.
Shout out to Marty. King Tetris. The fam.
22 my birthday is January 22nd, but also my favorite player Emmitt Smith.
Wow.
Gator.
That was the bad part in his life that we don't discuss.
Wow.
I mean, you know what? The part of the triplets.
Legendary Arizona Cardinal Emmitt Smith.
Oh, stop it.
Legendary Just for Men spokesperson Emmitt Smith.
Gator.
What? 2 of the triplets are from 2 rival schools. So you have Emmitt Smith, who's from the Gate, who went to UF, and then you have Michael Irvin, who went to UM. I like to think that both of them went through a bad part of their life.
Call
It's
them,
like a bad
we call
phase.
him the playmaker for the love
Come
of
on,
God.
baby.
Whatever.
Come on, baby. The 88,
Saint
the playmaker.
Thomas Aquinas, Broward
Yeah.
County,
The
stand
very
the fuck up.
own. Didn't he adopt Noel Devine?
No, that was Prime.
Prime.
Florida State.
Yes.
Coach Prime.
We got 2 primes here on the wall.
Yeah. Prime's everywhere.
We got 2 Deion Sanders prime times here. How do you feel about Colorado? Big fan now? Prime time?
Not a big fan now.
Were you
No.
as soon as he got there when everyone was excited?
Oh yeah, I was watching the games. Yeah.
Because I remember
Yeah.
you,
And then there were
you were wearing those glasses. I remember. You got the same ones.
Then there was a point where like one of their a lot of their games were really late at night. And you freaking stay
The
up
Colorado
late.
State game. The Colorado State game with like the it was like
I'm
45,
like, why
42.
am I up
Yeah,
only
game was lit.
freaking Dion primetime Santos to make me do
100%.
this?
I
Only him.
watched all of their games.
Yes, I'm like,
It was
why
like a hate
not?
watch too, because I was like, this can't be how it is. You can't just hire a famous coach who doesn't really do anything and then just win games. It's not fair. And then Oregon showed up and oh man,
Yeah, humbled them.
reality,
Yeah.
reality. Ooh, that's what a bunch of D1 linemen look like.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
These are the real deal.
And you're out there with your kid at quarterback. Good luck, coach. You
Say
can
the
get
father-son game.
you can
Papa.
get a Coach Prime sweatshirt at your local Dick's here in South Florida, which is kind of nuts, but whatever.
Speaking of my favorite number 22, Caitlin Clark. You know how she's
Love
number
Caitlin
22,
Clark.
and they
Love
asked
her.
her about why her favorite number, and it was
She was
22.
like Emmitt
And
Smith.
she's like, well, she did right after she said that she was born January 22nd.
Oh,
Shut up.
Ari,
We
no.
share the same. I knew I loved her
Shut
for a
up.
reason.
Yeah.
You were already drawn to it.
Yes, I was like, this is why me and you don't know it yet, but we're cool.
Yeah. Is she from Iowa? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Iowa.
She's from there.
I thought she was from like Indiana. She's from somewhere around there. This is where I
Mid-
show my
Midwest.
ignorance of the Midwest.
Sosa.
She wanted to
Sosa.
Play at UConn, right?
Yeah,
They never
but
recruited her.
UConn didn't recruit her.
They didn't
Yeah.
recruit her. She stuck with her. I think she's from Iowa because she stuck with her hometown.
That would make
That
sense.
goes
Yeah.
hard though.
Because Lucy on the Levitard show was obsessed with her, and that's mainly why, because Lucy's from Iowa.
Yeah, so I love the girl.
And then to do that and become who she became after like getting shunned by
Des Moines,
by
Iowa.
UConn.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Played
gonna
at
say,
West Des
born in
Moines,
Texas
Dowling,
and
Clemson.
diehard Emmitt Smith fan, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. I'm all over the place. But yeah, and yeah, Caitlin Clark has. Well, no, I was watching like the W before. Like I love Asia Wilson.
Mhm.
And Sabrina. I feel like she did a lot too for the sport. Even before Caitlin Clark with the whole 3-point contest.
Oh, yeah.
Against Curry, she did a
Ah.
lot for it.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that happened. That's
Yeah.
one of that's so dope.
Yeah.
I told you my story of how we pulled one over. My friends and I, my high school buddies and I, we all get together for All-Star Saturday every year. It's like a tradition since back in Gainesville. Back in 01, we started doing the Vince Carter dunk contest. So every year we get together. And this part of the show's coming up. And like a good chunk of my friends were like, what is this girl? And I'm like, it's Sabrina Ionescu. They're
Yeah.
like, what's she going to do? She's going to shoot threes against Steph Curry. Pfft.
Yeah.
She going to shoot on a 9-foot rim? She going to
They
use it?
start, yes.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding right now? So anyway, Sabrina goes, she kills it.
yeah, she does.
You know, she wants to shoot from they made a whole thing where she's like, I want to shoot from the men's
three-point
three-point
line,
line. And they're like, this girl, she's going to get this. And then Steph beats her because, you know, Steph
It's
is
Steph.
hyper competitive and is going to do it. But then the next time I saw one of my buddies from that night, he had Sabrina's sneakers on.
Yes.
He was like, yeah. He's like, I didn't know she was before that night. I did a little research, and he's a bit of a sneakerhead, so he's like, yeah, I fucking hook and grabbed her sneakers. They're dope.
That's the thing. Like in all my brothers and that, like on that podcast, none of them like care. Like that's one of the fights, right? WNBA, they're like, we don't watch it, we don't care, blah blah blah. Then the All Star with Sabrina, one of my brothers was like, oh, Steph Curry's gonna let her win. If she wins, it's because Steph allowed her to win. I'm like, first of all, Steph Curry's not gonna let
She
her
literally
win.
couldn't win in that spot.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose, or Steph let
Yeah.
her win.
And
So
people
that
at
was my
level,
thing.
That competitive level,
Yeah.
like they're not gonna let anyone. Like they're both going out there to kill.
Yeah. That's the thing I told him. Like, she's gonna lose because if she does happen to, for whatever reason, beat Steph Curry, they're gonna think Steph let her win.
Right.
Yeah.
True equality is Steph hitting that last three and dancing off the court.
Yeah.
I'm not
But like,
gonna
it's
get
like
it.
Steph
I'm
is Steph,
Curry.
and she's not a bum. Like she broke the
at all.
record at the women's All Star.
She's one of the best
Yeah,
ever.
so it's like shooters shoot, and she's gonna do her thing against
Yeah.
him. He's not gonna not shoot well to let her win.
No.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, just her being there and competing against him, to me, did a lot for the W.
Oh my goodness. Like,
True equality,
and
Junior, is
every little kid in the world, like every
Yeah.
little girl seeing that and being like,
Yeah.
yo, I can go up against one of the greatest of all time in
Yeah.
the sport that, you know, is supposed to be like the big brother that we're just a
Mhm.
shadow, we're an afterthought, we're all of
Yeah.
this. But to step on the same stage and actually be eye to eye
Yeah.
in those moments and get respect from everybody, bro, hats off always. I became a fan of hers on a piece that they did of her and her brother when she was in Oregon
Mhm.
because they grew up very competitive, playing against each other. Then they had to change the rules to allow her to play with the boys.
I did see that. Yeah.
And then they were roommates in Oregon, and one of them left or something, and then they came back after 2 years because she was kind of having like a down season, and it was because she didn't have her brother there. Like, it was a great piece that ESPN did and shit like that. Takes me back to like a 30 for 30 or an Inside the Heat, like when something's done so well like that. Like, since that day, I was like, I know Sabrina, and I started following her from Oregon, and then everything. And to see that, to see everything that she's done since then, to have that moment.
That was a really big moment.
No,
and like, even my nephew on there.
There's more moments to come too. This, I feel like this just opened the door for the rest of the possibilities and crossovers and everything.
Sabrina had that moment on the heels of the LSU Iowa final last year.
Yeah.
And then coming off of that, they went ahead and played again in the semifinal this year, and then it was Iowa versus UConn when Paige Beckers or whatever, and had even a bigger moment or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. It's just been building and building and building.
Yeah,
and
it keeps escalating.
True equality is I bet on the WNBA fairly often. So you've made it, WNBA. I'm constantly betting on your games.
It's like the argument with my brothers is like the dunking, of course, what most guys argue about. But like what I would say to like, and it's like, oh, can they lower the rim? But I feel like even if you were to say lower the rim, right? The women's basketball is smaller than the men's.
It's a little smaller. Yeah.
That gets like, even when Sabrina did the contest, we're like, oh, but the ball is smaller. I'm like, if they lower the rim and they start dunking, the men are just gonna say, or the ones who are like anti-it growing, you know, it's like, oh, well, they had to lower the rim. So that's why a lot of the women are like so against it. Like they're gonna always like push the field, the post more for them. And it's like, no, at this point they're like, we're gonna, and like they're not.
If you want to see shooting percentages drop by 10 to 15%, go ahead and lower the rim 9. Because guess
they've
what?
been practicing.
You've been shooting on 10-foot hoops your whole life.
Their whole life.
So nobody's going to know how to shoot on a 9-foot rim. That would be stupid.
Yes.
Back of the rim, everything.
That's true.
Everything would be terrible. It would not be great.
No.
These are the dudes who think that they could take Angel Reese into the post and drag her. Yeah, I'm like, all right, she'd wallop you.
The comments
she would wallop you, bro. Like you're not good enough.
Shout out to Christopher Diaz Flicks. I was just driving him around with Luna this Saturday at FIU. And
Shout out to Luna.
Shout out to Luna all day, every day, baby girl. I love you. You're not listening to this, but you know how much I love you.
They don't let her listen. I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it.
No.
Her virgin ears can't handle the profanity.
No. She hates our podcast.
Sound.
She chooses not to listen.
All right, I'll turn it off. Fuck. I didn't know you hated Billy that much. Jesus.
So driving around FIU, and I'm telling Chris, because we're talking about hooping at FIU and then talking about hooping indoor, and I'm telling him a story of how I got bodied by an FIU women's basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was maybe a couple years after my prime of basketball. I wasn't a basketball player, but I hooped.
Don't qualify it. Don't qualify it that you were after your prime. She'd have bodied you in your prime too.
She absolutely would have bodied me in my prime. 6'6" Serbian. Literally got a rebound, just put an elbow in my back, turned me around, and just like laid it up, and then ran down the court with one arm, and I was like, "What
That's
the fuck
thing,
just
like,
happened, bro?" And this is FIU.
Yeah.
My girl basketball player experience is also an FIU grad. She was like the all-time leading scorer or whatever at the time when she left. She went to the WNBA. She played like 6 years in the WNBA. She played for like the Liberty or whatever in like the early years of the thing. And she used to come out on our Saturday morning runs. Me and my buddies had this Saturday morning run for like 20 years. And one of my buddies started dating her, and she used to come out and play with us. And it was just like, she just fucking wreck us. Just wreck us. And the best part was when we would get randoms show up at the playground and work into our game, and they had no idea.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't say it, they would like say it with their body language. And it's like the first time she like makes the perfect pass or dribbles around you very easily or steals and gets a layup on you, and it's like it's like the thing about professionals, basketball players, men or women, if they are open, they are going to make the shot. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
The only time they miss is when there's a hand in their face by someone who is equally skilled as them.
Yeah.
If you are playing a pickup game with them and they get loose of you, which they will, they're going to make the shot because they do not miss open shots. That's the difference. Because the 10,000 hours, they've taken 30,000 300,000
And
shots
they've
in their
ran
lives.
whatever play
Yeah.
they just ran that
Right.
you didn't know they just ran it. That elbow screen wraparound,
Right.
whatever the hell.
So she would wreck our
Yeah.
Saturday morning games, nicely, but whatever. And then a couple times her friends would come out that she played with at FIU and run threes, and we would just rotate.
Game over.
We would just rotate the three of us, 3 dudes versus her and her 2 friends, and they'd fucking kill us. And occasionally, maybe one of us would get a game off of her because we were getting hot from outside, and they were like not respecting our shots because why should they?
Yeah.
And maybe occasionally we get a game off of her, but like I remember she was like 3 months pregnant, and it was like the last run she was gonna make with us because it was time to like stop playing competitive basketball with a bunch of fucking hackers who were definitely gonna kill her and the baby if we weren't careful. And she got a steal on me, and I chased her down the court, and I went up, and I was like on top of her, and I pulled back. And like in midair, and like she kind of like bounced off me and made the layup, and I looked down at the guys and I'm like, what the fuck was I supposed to do there anyway? And she running back up the court, she looks at me, she goes, you wouldn't have blocked it anyway.
Oh my
She's
god.
like, there was nothing you could have did. It was like it didn't matter that you pulled back, you weren't gonna do it anyway if you'd have went. I'm like, she's
And
right.
that was the baby that
I'm
said
like,
that.
yeah, right. I'm like, she's probably right.
No.
Because I was like, I'm gonna fucking like, no, I'm not. She was like, you weren't gonna
No,
block
I'm not.
it. She's like, you weren't gonna get it anyway. I'm like, you're probably right.
That was the thing. Like, when the Miami Soul were at the Heat,
Yeah.
Mo was telling me because in one of our podcasts, it got really heated in the conversations because two of my brothers
Oh,
think
I
that.
think he maybe said what Santi said.
Santi fucking swears up and down he would drag Ruth Riley in the fucking post. And
Yeah,
body
but
her.
so they were
Mo's
saying like
been
they
talking shit
no
to
not
you?
Mo.
Oh, okay.
Mo was like so Mo
The
heard
fans,
them
the
saying that
brothers
they
and
would
everything.
stand a chance against the professional team.
Yeah, no.
And so Mo was like, listen, when I was at the Heat, the Miami Soul embarrassed. He's like, and then he told them, he's like, this is a bunch of dudes now at the Heat at that time that were working that were good, and like considered themselves good ball players. They embarrassed those dudes. He's like, bad. He's like, your brothers wouldn't score a point against those girls. Like, they wouldn't score a point.
Yeah,
But-
it's
I don't know
crazy.
what they're like.
If
I
it's
don't know what
not
they're
if it's not an
thinking.
elite high school boys team, you're gonna lose to
Yeah.
a bunch of pro girls. You're gonna lose. It's
Yeah,
just not,
and
it's
it
just
literally has to be elite in the sense that like half of the team's going D1.
not, right. You've got,
Yeah.
you've
there
got
might be
3
two
5-star
draft
dudes who are
picks,
going to like
Yeah.
Kentucky, Duke, fucking
Yeah.
UConn, wherever.
and you might have 1 or 2 that go to the league,
Right,
or-
whatever.
and then the rest
Like,
overseas.
I'm talking,
like
they're big and physical.
That's
That's
the
it.
thing too. Like,
6'9" and athletic. Yeah,
I feel like most of the time it's the guys who wouldn't stand a chance against these girls.
right. That
Like,
talk the most shit.
That talk the most shit.
Yeah,
And it's-
the dudes, the pros, and the dudes who
Yes.
know are like, nah, I'm not. Gonna
So I said that to them one time. Like one time when I was dumping and like footage for Wade, like at the Heat, I remember like one of the clips was him talking to I think his agent that passed away. He was talking to him.
Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas. He was talking to him and he was talking about another female athlete. He's like, man, she's so good. Like this girl can ball. Like she's like just talking like with the utmost respect about the females. This was when he got drafted, 03. So I was telling my brother, and he's like, "Oh, they're supposed to say that." I'm like, he wasn't even on camera. Like he was like, he was having a private conversation. He wasn't even like, it's like you have NBA athletes who have more respect for these girls than dudes on the street who
Right. Just
couldn't
play
get a
by
layoff on them.
Right.
because they know what it takes and they've seen it firsthand and everything.
Yeah.
And Wade's always been a huge advocate for Candace Parker.
Yeah.
Because of Chicago and everything,
Yeah.
the ties, and that's one of the baddest of all time,
Oh
right
my
there.
God, yeah, she is.
I think my favorite hooper, I gotta go Maya Moore.
Maya Moore is a lot of people's favorite.
I gotta
hooper.
go Diana Taurasi
Yeah.
as the two for me that I just like, holy shit, like
Yeah. Maya
for me
Moore was
revolutionized the game for me. And I was watching Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, like Tina Thompson, like those days, Shamika Holtzclaw, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying all of this correct.
Ruth Riley was nice too.
Ruth
I
Riley
didn't.
was
Yeah,
nice.
like when she
way nicer than Santi.
when we were
She'd bully him in the paint.
yes,
Wait.
she was
Ruth
nice.
Riley didn't call us either. Now that I
Yeah,
think about it.
didn't call me.
She didn't
Oh,
call
Call
me.
me
dang.
Jason Jackson. called
Jason
me.
Jackson.
And she's like a sweetheart. Like she wrote notes
I'm
to
sure-
all of us
I'm
when we
sure she
did her
didn't
show
call,
for
didn't
Inside
call.
the Heat. Like
Amy Audibert didn't call us.
Didn't call.
She wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
no, I was gonna say yeah, she
wasn't
wasn't
there.
there
Will,
yet.
Will Mansell.
Amy Audibert would drag Santi into the pace and beat his brains in too.
Facts.
She-
Yeah.
Facts. Santi can't even beat Jimmy Butler in tennis. And it's not even his fuck out of here.
Santi's taking
Shout
all
out to
kinds of
Tennis
strays.
Plaza. Shout out to Santi.
Well, if he just come on the
Shout out to
podcast and
Wim.
defend himself, it wouldn't have to be this way.
Right? And we'll go to you if you want.
Yeah.
We'll meet you up at the Flanagan's in Coconut Grove. Whatever. We'll meet you up at the Heat practice court. We'll meet you up at Wim Hof's breathing.
Tell them
method.
where, Santi. They will go.
Wherever you want.
We'll do it on a bike ride. Be a short podcast.
on the Key Biscayne Bridge.
Right.
Santi.
All right, so let's land this plane here, and as we ask everyone, how did you feel being on the podcast? Even though you have your own podcast, I don't know. Have you done podcasts like this? Other podcasts or
No, this was my first where I'm on
podcast?
guest.
So thank you for being on this. How did you feel?
They're
now
not
that
usually
you
this
had
chaotic.
the,
I don't know what yours is like. I don't know. You said you script.
Oh,
you
no,
just
that-
got like,
Probably
No,
just
I don't
yelling.
script it
Yelling.
like
not
that.
script. That's
Yeah.
not the word I wanted to use. I wanted to use like bullet points and such.
Yeah.
an
Like I
outline.
picked the topics for us, obviously, but before then, we obviously discussed which ones we want to talk about.
You know, when our podcast, when the Three List was at its worst, when Junior tried to fucking grab the steering wheel and like keep us on track about all the different things we were talking about. That's when the show was at its worst. It was terrible.
Yep. And I showed up
Yeah.
with topics
and
and
notes and
segments
shit.
and all of this. Like I literally would
Why don't we
print
just
out
talk about the
things
shit
and
we're talking about?
I gave people
No.
stats just to have it in the background and everything too, like in case you want to throw. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that was
Just
never the
beers,
point.
yeah.
That was never the idea. Like it was born because of the camaraderie. And the
Yeah.
camaraderie, we're not like,
This was did you see he shot 44% from the
Yeah.
field and he's averaging 2-point blocks on left-handed
Yeah.
shooters and
the fuck do we care? Like, no. It was
We're
just
not going to talk about analytics on the Three
you
List.
like, you like
Shut the fuck
wrestling?
up.
You like
Yeah.
Star Wars? Tell me more about that.
You want to get into Greg
Nerd.
Berhalter's
Like,
tactics, or do you want me to just say that Christian Pulisic sucks at soccer? I can do both if you want.
I have a nickname for him.
Yeah, what is it? Is it Captain America?
Full of shit.
Nah. Full of
Full of
shit.
shit.
Full of
Full
shit.
of shit.
I don't think,
Shit.
I don't think
Shit,
he's
full of
ever
shit.
lost. I don't think he's ever lost a game to Mexico.
Christian full of
He,
shit.
he hasn't. That's why I
not a
feel like
single one.
that's why I feel the way I feel about him.
Did you see how overmatched and bad they looked against Uruguay? That you guys look like against us.
Ooh.
Yeah, I said it.
No, but you know what? I don't
Hey.
even. I have nothing. I have nothing.
Hey, say nice things.
Like
I will turn this car
they're
around.
lucky I spent $100 on this jersey because otherwise,
It is a fly jersey. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It is a fly
Nike
jersey.
has been
It's like-
fucking mailing it in with our
this
jerseys
is
for a
probably
few
my
years now.
favorite jersey of theirs that they've
Mhm.
had in a while, and I'm like, forget it.
Why don't you guys just wear the damn green? I don't understand. You've been wearing that red shit a lot.
I don't like the red one.
No, I don't either. I mean,
I
I don't
hate
like
it.
any
I
of
like
it.
the green
but
one.
I
I
especially
like
don't like
this
the red
one,
one.
which is why I bought it, obviously. But the red one, I do not like.
Is that
At
a
all.
special
It's
edition?
like the alternate third or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Just a scheme to sell more jerseys, but
It's
Yeah,
that's
they
their
do that.
Mexico's Vice jersey.
basically.
basically.
Yeah.
But every team does it.
Yeah, yeah. The
Every team
U.S. has
does
a
it, yeah.
stupid.
I do like the green though.
Yeah,
I
this
do
one
like
is
the
my
green
favorite.
over that, and that one's dope too.
Yeah,
Shout
I like
out
that white
Mexico.
one they had. When was it? It's like it was white and then it had the green and red.
Oh, the stripe across
yeah,
the middle.
I love
yeah,
that one
yeah,
too.
yeah. And the they moved the logo to the
Yeah.
chest and not to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like Iron
I loved it.
He said Iron Man with the thing in the chest.
It was like when Rafa.
Iron Man. He said Tony Stark.
We call it a badge, and okay, I'm sorry. We call it a badge in
Yeah.
European football. What you guys talking about? Respect the badge.
So yes, how did it feel? How did it feel?
Yeah.
How did it feel?
Wait.
Episode 50, your episode. How did it feel being on the podcast?
It was awesome, amazing. Didn't feel like scripted. I might take some pointers over to my podcast. Might
Step 1, get everybody drunk.
Yeah,
Step 2,
I've been trying to do that.
just
though.
turn the mics on and go.
And I'm like the only one who drinks Corona, and I'm like, you guys have to do it with me. And we're Mexican.
I was gonna say,
It's
do
just
they
like
not do they not drink it out of principle? They're like, I'm not gonna be the
No,
Mexican
they-
guy drinking Corona.
We all get so. It's our thing, so I don't understand why they don't just grab a beer and drink. Like,
Yeah.
join me. But no, it was super cool. I'm very happy to have been there, especially for the 50th.
50.
It's a big deal.
50,
It's a big
50,
deal.
50.
I feel special. It was good seeing Junior again. I didn't see them for a long time. So that was cool.
He
Dope.
fam reunited.
Yeah.
I
back
can't
here.
wait to
Fam,
crash
fam,
your
fam.
podcast. That's gonna be so much fun.
Oh, we got to do that.
We're
We
gonna
gotta
expect an
crash
invite
that.
at least by the end of football season. Don't be weird.
And
Just do it by
Let's
the end of
do
football
that.
season. Yeah.
and when we have Mo on, we'll
Do
make
the
sure that
Cowboys-
you like call in.
Do the Cowboys play the
just-
Jets?
just
this
You
year?
should.
just to mess with him on his episode.
Please.
We will do that. We will do that. But
Please.
Adi FSU 09.
Wait, it's underscore. Ari underscore FSU.
Yes, you gotta keep that in.
No underscore after FSU. Only one underscore.
Only
right?
one underscore.
Ari underscore FSU 09. Ariana Estrada. Shout out to the Calderon family.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being
thank you
on.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much
Awesome.
for coming. This was
This
awesome.
was
A lot of fun.
Episode 50 of the Three List. Your episode. We are out.
It's the Muck. That's the Muck. side, by the way.
Muck City, baby. Muck
From
City.
the mall.
Yeah.
Grew up chasing rabbits in the sugarcane fields. That's why she's so fast.
Oh, you know they had a whole special on Sports Center for that, right?
Oh, that's, shit is real out there. I can't believe it.
I am very real. I'm the realest person you're ever gonna meet.